big deal was that Volt had gotten a letter delivered underneath his door from Anastasia inviting him to lunch at Hotel Provincial. And that's where we are. Everybody back at their... you and Della were going to fort up together and just in case there was any problems.
The Devil Man came
Yeah.
Yes, and I wanted to get everybody's badges
All right.
so I could re-armor them.
Yeah, so we gave you the badges to re-armor. I will set up a threshold at her house for the night.
You guys are having a sleepover. You got a letter. You went home. You went home, right? And that was after giving up the staff to Gabriel Beaumont.
Yeah, he went home.
Yeah. So, next morning, I figure probably most of you sleep in a little bit because you were out late. It is Wednesday morning, I believe.
We have done a lot.
Yes, you have. Well, you remember that Terrence's funeral was only on Monday. Your first attempt to catch the Devil Man was on the Monday after Terrence's funeral. On Tuesday, on Tuesday. Well, I'm sorry, it's Thursday, isn't it? On Tuesday, you had gone and actually killed the Devil Man. Last night was Wednesday, so this is Thursday morning. Sorry, there we go. Yeah, Thursday morning. Trying to keep all this straight in my head.
So we did release the Devil Man from the Suleiman staff, didn't we do?
Yes. As far as you know.
As far as you know.
We attempted to put
people know where it is, but I don't know if that means he's dead now
exactly.
or which night. So, I'm sorry. Monday night, Terrence's funeral. Tuesday night, we attempted.
Tuesday night, you actually killed the Devil Man.
Killed the Devil Man.
Wednesday night, you got attacked by ghouls.
Wednesday night. What was the night where we went to the bar with all of the flying?
That was Tuesday night.
That was Devil Night morning.
Same as
you
Devil
killed
Man.
the Devil Man. You were celebrating at the bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you were actually celebrating at the Rum House, and then the girl called you guys to come back to Muriel's because you'd been there Monday early evening before you went out on your first hunting mission. So yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we need a little calendar here.
I know.
Dude, a lot has happened in less than a week.
That's right. You guys have
we all
only
slept
been
in.
technically playing game time for about a week.
Yeah.
I think Terrence showed up on Thursday night for you, actually. So it's been exactly 1 week since you actually... Yeah, I know.
It's been
1 week
Since Terrence showed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Since a ghost appeared. Yeah.
1 week since the spooky shit.
such a throw a microwave at me.
So Thursday morning, dawn's probably later for most of you, because again, like I said, you were up pretty late. The only people you probably got in by about 1, but still pretty late.
Yeah.
First person up, who would that be?
I feel like I would be sleeping in a little bit this time.
Yeah, I'm sleeping. I'm probably gonna sleep till 11.
Okay.
I'll be the first person up.
Okay, you're the first person up.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. You've got everything taken care of on your.
I don't have to sleep very much.
That's right. You really don't actually. You have a human
recovery. I can go like a full day
without sleeping. That's right.
Yeah, so I figure I don't have to get too many hours. So.
Yeah, you're pretty rested up. Even after just 4 or 5 hours, you're good.
Yeah.
You've cleaned everything up in your warehouse, so you're ready to, I guess, move on to the next phase.
Yeah, so I guess then I'll go to Lowe's, and I'm gonna buy lots and lots of hoses.
Okay. You get resources 3. They're not very expensive. Yeah.
And get like a nice little craftsman's box of like wrenches and drills and drill bits or whatever. Yeah, so I can set up the layer with defenses.
Now, next question is, do you have craftsmanship?
I do not, but I know a guy.
You know a guy. Okay. All right. Well, you can hire a company. Well, that's true. You do know a guy.
I know a guy.
You know a guy. All righty. So you get a bunch of tools.
You looking for some money?
Yeah, well, he does have resources. You make a little money there.
Questionable acquaintances.
That's right. Yep.
You're going to offer him money?
Yeah.
I
Not
just
just
use
sandwiches.
this kitchen and sandwiches.
Food's into it too. So you've gone to Lowe's. It probably takes you maybe an hour to locate all the stuff you want from there. It doesn't take very long at all. You pay for it with your, debit card or cash or whatever you want to use, and you're good to go. Head back to the warehouse, yeah?
Yeah. And I'm gonna begin like. Well, I guess I don't know if that does craftsmanship or not, but just kind of like tacking or like zip tying the hoses to the rims, the kind of perimeter of the warehouse on the inside.
All right.
And then put a little bit on the outside facing outward. Basically what I want to do is I want to drill these little holes in the hoses.
Yeah.
Hook it up to my water supply or something or some kind of pump. And when I turn a valve, it just trickles slowly water to fill up about like maybe an inch.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so I can, if people come in unwanted, I hit this valve. After a couple of minutes, I can lightning the floor and everybody just gets cooked.
You probably just buy soaker hoses or stuff like that in the garden supply area.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, no problem at all doing that. You don't need craftsmanship for that. That's pretty easy. Yeah, I mean, you get a +0. Everybody's considered, if you don't have a skill, you're considered to be level 0.
I've got YouTube, right?
Exactly. Well, you know how to, I'm pretty sure you know how to use a zip tie. Right.
Yeah.
Sure. So you start putting the hoses around there. You get a lot of soaker hoses. Probably halfway through the thing, you have to go back to Lowe's because that's how it works. You either need more zip ties or more hoses or something. There is a faucet on the outside of the warehouse. Do you want to see if you can find one on the inside?
Yeah.
All right. You search around a little while on the inside. There is some water. It's got running water and things like that. You do find in one of the back corners that there is a faucet. You turn it on. Water comes out. Looks like it's pretty good. You may have to check in to make sure the water gets turned on and actually make sure.
Maybe I'll get my craftsmanship guy to make me a better valve.
Okay.
I was gonna say, does your warehouse have a sprinkler system?
Probably not. Actually,
That would be cool, but then they would know.
right.
Because they get baptized in the sprinkler. I want a slow little trickle.
There's actually probably a sprinkler system in the office, but that's probably the only place it's located. This warehouse is kind of old, kind of run down. There's no actual fire suppression system in it because it's just.
Because I just keep thinking those the sprinklers people put out for their yards. They have the little one and it just goes back and forth big fan and stuff. If you just had it on your walls or on the ceiling, just turn it backwards.
There you go. All these
Could
things.
fill them with holy water too.
That's gonna
That'd be a lot of holy water.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little trickier.
I don't think you can get that.
You maybe want to hang a few balloons from the ceiling, but that's about all you're gonna want to do.
Most I can get is a couple miles.
That might be a little tough, but yeah, you can definitely set up the soaker hoses and hook it up to the faucet, and it's ready to go. I don't know if you want to do any kind of remote turn on kind of thing. That might take a little more craftsmanship to do, but
I don't want to have to walk over, bend over, twist it, and reveal my plan.
Right.
It'd be cool. A remote, that'd be cool.
So you got to talk to your craftsmanship guy about
I got
that.
it on my watch. I just check my watch and tap the button, and
So there you go.
Remember, this is
Kind of sounds like
2010.
you're building a
And?
lair.
We had that technology in 2010.
Did we?
Sure.
I'm sure you did. Well, they have technology where you can have the timers and stuff like that, and so I'm sure the
wow.
craftsmanship guy could probably get a couple Arduinos and some stuff.
I was gonna
like
say
that.
at that point,
I'll just
I
carry
know
a
we
remote
had at
around
least
with me
garage
too.
door openers.
Yeah,
and if
yeah,
we could do
I'll do
that.
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
They can bodge it
I'll
together.
just duct tape
I'll
that
say
to
I
my watch. Nobody will ever know.
Yeah, you don't have an Apple Watch.
to your beeper.
Yeah, right. You better have an Apple Watch, but you could probably at least have a remote upstairs right next to your remote to your TV where you could hit the button and do it.
Okay, yeah.
For sure.
So I could use magic to kind of Orc Boys style, just
Yeah.
happen.
There you go. All right, so this takes you probably till about 11 o'clock. You're kind of dirty and sweaty. Lunch is generally around noon. You may want to get cleaned up if you're planning to go meet Anastasia.
I guess I will.
All right. You go up. There's a bathroom downstairs. You get kind of showered up, cleaned, things like that. It's actually kind of a dingy little bathroom. You're thinking to yourself, well, the first thing that I'm going to do is get this thing cleaned up because it's an old bathroom from a warehouse. A couple stalls. you're kind of like, I don't really need stalls in my bathroom anymore. So, you're thinking, you got a guy who does craftsmanship.
I could have an awesome master bathroom now.
You could. The only problem is right now you're going to have to put in a bedroom as well because right now you're kind of sleeping upstairs on the
like the office,
the futon or whatever. Yeah, but you get cleaned up. What are you gonna wear your leather jacket, black pants, hold on to all the black regalia,
the classic all black.
All right.
But how fancy is this restaurant?
It's in the Hotel Provincial. It's casual. Well, okay, you could go in there and eat with jeans. Nobody really care. So.
Would overdressing with black slacks and...
Nah, that'd be fine. You could probably get away with black jeans for all that matter. I mean, as long as they're clean and nice. Don't have holes in them.
Let's do like black slacks, a black vest with a black button up.
Okay, there you go. You can do that.
And have like a little red handkerchief, little pocket, whatever that is thing.
No jacket or anything like that?
No jacket.
Nah, yeah, I think it'd go better without the jacket. I'm with
and
you.
then I put the shades on and walk in like that.
All right, you head out to the Impala, get in, start her up, open the gate, roll out, close the gate behind you, and chain it closed, and then head towards Hotel Provincial. It's not very far. It's maybe 15 minutes, and you get there. There's valet parking. You could probably use if you want. There's also a parking lot inside there that you could also use, but you have to drive around until you can find a spot.
I'll use valet.
Okay. You go to the valet, tell him you're going to the restaurant. He says make sure you get your verification inside so that they don't charge you for the parking. And then he takes the keys and drives the Impala. You notice when he gets in, he seems to approve of the car. He's a young guy, maybe in his 17 or 18, something like that. He's kind of looking around going, nice car. And you go into the restaurant. The restaurant is kind of got French provincial decoration. It's kind of rustic, but at the same time, the cushions the chairs have cushions in them. The tablecloths or the cloths on the table are kind of this nice white, and they've got this yellow checked pattern laid across it, so they've got two cloths. There's a nice bouquet of flowers. They're just kind of wildflowers or something like that. You're realizing, okay, maybe this isn't a really, really fine restaurant, but it seems kind of a little more casual. You see all kinds of people in there. Probably a lot of them are staying at the restaurant. Old people, young people, sitting at a table. Let's see. There's several empty tables. You're gonna scan around and see if you see Anastasia.
Yeah.
You do not see her. The maitre d', front of the house, asks you, table for one. Do you have a reservation?
Meeting Anastasia Malvara.
Yes, she made a reservation. I'll take you to the table. She's not here yet, but I'll go ahead and get you seated, and we'll get you something to eat. So you go in and you sit. The table's nice. They ask you if you want water, what you want to drink, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Did you arrive on time?
Absolutely.
See, that's the problem. You didn't arrive fashionably late.
Yeah.
Well, that's so I can
Get the level in.
that and
Yeah.
I'm gonna order her a Bloody Mary because she's a vampire. So I'm gonna have that ready for when she comes in.
They really don't drink blood.
Yeah. I'll need the white cord, right?
Yeah, they just feed off of emotions.
No, he gonna do that to assert dominance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what?
With that.
That's what it was. I wasn't doing it as a nice thing. I was doing it as like, fucking vampire.
All right. You sit down. What you gonna have a beer or something like that?
Yeah, I'll order a beer.
Okay. They bring you over some bread and some nice fresh crock. Fresh butter in a crock. The bread is like little baguettes. It's nice French bread that when you start to cut into it, it goes, like the good French bread. And you're like, okay, man, they got some good food here. You just grabbed a roll, put it on one of those little plates, and cut it in half, and are starting to put butter in it. And in walks this absolutely beautiful woman in a black dress, and you recognize this is Anastasia. She is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. She's got long black hair straight down her back. She's wearing kind of this low, kind of backless dress in the back. And
Did you walk in from the sun?
Yeah.
No problem?
Yeah, they don't have any problem with sun. It's Black Court that has problems.
Okay,
with sun. Yeah,
alright.
White Court is fine with it. Yeah.
So I have no clue.
Yeah,
Okay.
she
guys.
comes walking in, immediately sees you at the table, but goes over to the maitre d' and says something. The maitre d' smiles really nicely at her, walks over to the table and pulls out the chair for her. She sits down, sees the Bloody Mary.
I just give her a smirk.
She chuckles and says, "Not really a vodka girl. I tend to be more whiskey oriented. But hey, what the heck? You're in the South. Bloody Mary's fine with me." The Bloody Mary has got all this bacon and shrimp and celery and stuff in it. Yeah, it's huge.
too much.
It's a monster, right? But she takes the shrimp out.
entree.
Each one takes the shrimp out. Looks like she's gonna bite it, and she says, "Well, I'd say introductions are in order, but we've met once before, and I think we got off on the wrong foot. So I wanted to introduce myself formally. My name is Anastasia Malvora. You are."
Volt Kruger.
"Nice to meet you, Volt. Like I said,
I extend a hand.
yeah," and she shakes your hand. She does the little, the girly
okay.
handshake thing.
I'll kiss it then instead.
Okay, you can do that. Sure. Did she kiss it?
That's a fancy thing.
She looks at you and she kind of goes, "Old school, old world, interesting." She said, "But like I said, I thought we got off onto the wrong foot, and I wanted to see if we could maybe start again. My friends and my family and I, are new to the city of New Orleans, and we just were kind of wanting to get the lay of the land, find out how things are, see what kind of troubles or problems we can avoid. And obviously, we ran into you, and we would like to avoid problems with you. So let's eat, and we can discuss what we can do to make this better." Guy brings over menus. There's steaks, seafood, typical Cajun fare, a few other French dishes, escargot and some things like that. It doesn't sound really exciting, but yeah. What are you gonna order?
Yeah, I guess I'll just order a steak, ribeye or something.
She orders, Cajun fare, basically etouffee, and the maitre d' takes the menus off, and she takes one of the shrimp, eats it. She goes, "Oh, this is actually really good. Like I said, I'm not much of a vodka girl, but this is a pretty good Bloody Mary." And she says, "So, my family and I are staying here at the hotel. That's why I asked you to meet us here. And I know where you live. What brings you to New Orleans?"
Spread my wings, you could say. Learning more about the world.
She says, "Wings. That's the really intriguing thing about you. Obviously, you have wings and can fly.
Can't you?
No, not at all. I can jump really high. Pretty good in a fight, and faster than most mortals. But like court vampires, that's what we do." And she says, "I tend to feed on fear, as you can tell from the other night. Sorry about that, by the way." And she says, "So, what are you?"
Right to the point.
I'm just a lonely boy.
"I'm a lonely
What
boy."
are you?
I'm a lonely boy.
Oh, memories. Are you consulting your character sheet to tell her what?
Well, I was hoping I could link an aspect in here, so that'd be kind of cool. I'm just a
Lonely boy.
just a beast of sorts to hone his skills, seeking out a lair.
Right. Well, I understand. We left the main town where the Malvora family lives, which is out west, and came to New Orleans because New Orleans is a very interesting city. There's a lot of fear here, especially right now. Unfortunately, I believe my other family members, my cousins, the Scavis, have had their hands at work here, and really you don't see as much fear so much as despair.
Can I say Scavis?
Scavis, it's another family of White Court. They feed on despair. Rather an unsavory emotion, if you will. And of course, the wraiths are prominent in Chicago and some of the northeastern towns, and they feed on lust. My family, on the other hand, like I said, we feed on fear. So, yeah.
Okay. You seeking to stake a claim here?
Possibly, I think so, which means we would want to receive any assistance we can in running out any pretenders to the throne here. Not necessarily mortal. We tend to leave mortals alone, but definitely would like to see
They're
how
all the same to
Scabies.
me.
Well, yeah. Hope to see how Scabies maybe moves on somewhere else.
All right. You got a price?
Not yet. Still finding out what the situation is here. House Scabies has been here for a long time, and there are, I think, some red courts in town as vampires as well. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Not so much.
Yeah, I haven't had much dealing with them either, but my other families in the White Court, I'm very familiar with them.
We killed a handful of ghouls last night, but I don't know if that's Red Court.
No, Red Court ghouls actually. There's a large group of ghouls outside of New Orleans that live in the swamps. I also heard there was a large group that lived on the docks, and I think that's kind of near where your warehouse is. So be careful. Yeah, they're kind of nasty characters. Strong, fast. Not as strong and fast as we are, but obviously, running in packs, they can be kind of dangerous. Your steaks arrive, and her étouffée arrives, and you sit down and begin eating for a while. She finishes her Bloody Mary, and then orders a.
With the beast form, can I just change
Sure.
a finger into a claw or
Sure.
something like that? Yeah, I'll do that at some point. Just kind of like a flare little trick, let it slip.
Use it to cut your steak.
Yes, I'll use it to cut my steak.
Okay.
And then stick in there and
She kind of raises an eyebrow and then shrugs and goes back to cutting or eating her étouffée. You don't have to cut it up. The food's good. It's actually pretty good. And you finish up. The waiter asks you if you'd like bread pudding or bananas Foster. That's what they've got right now. They also have a really nice key lime pie. Anything of those.
I skip on the dessert.
She says that she'll have the bread pudding. And so they bring the bread pudding out. It's got a nice rum sauce. And you eat dessert. Eventually the dishes get cleared away. And she says, well, Mr. Volt, it is good to have met you formally and to have possibly cleared the air between us. I definitely will be needing your assistance in the future. I hope you don't mind. If I call on you, possibly with an offer for assistance.
I'm sure we could figure out a mutually beneficial arrangement.
I'm sure that we can. And so she says, well, that went much better than I was hoping. I was afraid there might be some little bit of bad blood between us, but I'm glad there isn't. And so she says, well, I have many things to do if we're going to have a more permanent presence in the town. Thank you so much for coming out. Of course, she takes care of the bill because she invited you.
On the receipt, one or whatever, I'll jot my number down. And if you ever need me.
She says, well, thank you very much. And then she stands up and offers her hand to you again. And, you can shake it, kiss it if you want. And then she heads on out the door. And she really is very attractive. You're kind of like, oh, wow, she's very pretty. A little skinny, but, it's nice, yeah.
When you're like, yeah, just jot my number down. If you need me, first thing I thought was you're like, oh, thanks. Just gonna send another dozen people to your house.
That's right. Well, she knows where his house is.
Yeah, she knows where that's at.
Yeah. So you finish up, head on outside. Of course, you've gotten the receipt validated. The valet brings up your car, checks the validation, hands you your keys, and then off you go. Where are you headed now?
I guess back to the house.
All right, back to the thing. It's probably about 1, maybe 1:30. I think the rest of you would probably be waking up by that time. So, who's next?
Well, I was waking up at 11.
Okay, so 11. What are we doing?
I'll get up around then, make a pot of coffee or whatever.
I'm getting the badges and I'm going to the back room and I'm going to do my thing.
It takes maybe an hour to add the armor spell to them, Armor 2. They'll last about a week. Doesn't take a whole lot of time, and it doesn't tire you out at all now that I finally understand how thaumaturgy works. So, yeah. Doesn't take long.
Okay. I'm also going to look up and do some research on ghouls a little bit.
Okay. Make me a No.
Lore?
Yeah, let's make a lore check. That's fine. It is Arcana. Yeah. Not a bad roll.
5.
All right, you start looking up ghouls. Ghouls, you are able to find a couple write-ups in one of a bestiary that you got. Maybe it was from the White Court. It's a relatively recent book. It tells you that ghouls must eat raw flesh. It has to be newly killed people. They can distend their jaws. They have claws. You knew all this stuff. One of the other things it says is that they are very hard to kill. So you're going to need to make sure that you use either holy relics or do a lot of damage to them. If their head comes away from their neck, of course, that kills them. That's pretty much it. But they can heal very quickly. They're really hard to kill. Some of them can have superhuman might. It just depends. They're kind of individualistic. They tend to not be terribly bright, but they're not stupid, you know. And again, there are leaders of the ghouls who tend to be smarter, faster, more fun at parties, or something. So yeah.
What do you on the party?
Yeah, right.
So, is her sword considered holy?
Yes, absolutely.
What is mine considered? It's probably not holy.
Magical.
But it's magical. Yeah, but so did you say holy relics and magical things, or just
No,
holy
just
relics?
holy relics.
Okay.
They tend to have a problem with holy items or anything that's been blessed or some things like that. And so her sword, the Sword of the Cross, would definitely qualify as that, which means that they can't really use their superhuman recovery to get rid of those injuries. Normally, you have what is it, inhuman recovery?
Mm-hmm.
They have inhuman recovery too, or maybe it's supernatural.
I have inhuman toughness and inhuman recovery.
Right. So they have something like that, which means they can get rid of mild consequences? Yeah, mild consequences and stuff like that. I think you can do that as well.
You can recover totally from any consequence, excluding extreme ones, with no excuse besides time.
Right. And then I think you can
Simply waiting long enough, you heal completely.
Do you also get to the ability to ignore one time per combat?
In combat, once per scene, you may clear away a mild physical consequence as a supplemental action.
A holy relic or something like that, they don't get to clear that away, so it gets stuck on. What are you doing? She's doing some stuff in the back room, lots of incense and smoke coming out of there, weird chanting, bells ringing, stuff like that. You're kind of going, all right, well, I don't know what she's doing right there.
I will make a pot of coffee, drink a pot of coffee.
Man, I was just processed that because for some reason I thought you were saying that her character was the one doing all that. I was like,
no.
Yeah, so I'll while she's doing her wizard lady stuff, I'll probably just get coffee. I will do like a morning workout routine, just kind of getting blood pumping for the
Grab your
day.
sword out and run through some of your...
do some drills.
Yeah, I mean, you've had formal training for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, you probably run through some of the sword katas and stuff like that.
And then at some point, when I'm done doing that sort of thing, I will do. I'm looking up my ability.
What are your
this thing.
aspects?
you're going to get Della to throw concrete at you?
Aspects. Are aspects the face aspects? You mean?
Just yeah.
Yeah. Reggie's rosary raises shield against fiery darts of evil. No one's beyond saving. I owe you one. Vengeance is not mine, but thine.
Okay, I'll do that. You're swinging your sword around and stuff like that, and inadvertently smash what looks like kind of an antique teapot. You may hand that back to me if you don't want to do it.
Demons fly out.
I'll let it happen.
Don't help.
And I'll just be like,
That'd
Wait.
be perfect.
I mean, yeah.
well, I should have did this outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the little antique teapot, it's kind of this weird Japanese looking little teapot sitting on the mantle of the fireplace, and just the tip of your sword hits it and tink, just knocks the little spout off. Okay? And the smoke comes out of it. You're like, what is that? And so you're not sure.
It's a dust. I'm gonna look for some Gorilla Glue.
Okay. Go to the kitchen.
Yes.
You go into the kitchen, looking around, doing the stuff. There is some super glue in one of the cabinets.
Okay. I'll grab some super glue and I will try to fix my mistake.
Okay, you are able to glue it on there. It actually comes off. Your sword's really, really sharp, so it makes a kind of clean cut.
I'm just gonna put that away.
You're a little concerned about the smoke that's coming out of the teapot?
It's still coming out?
Well, yeah, it's kind of a weird, smoky, dusty kind of stuff.
Can I try to plug it?
It smells funny. Yeah, you can.
What's it smell like?
Dirt and dust and...
Not sulfuric or anything
No,
like that?
no, not at all.
I'm like, and it's just smoking out, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Oh man, I hope this is not like a relative of hers. I'm like debating interrupting her, whatever she's doing back there, to tell her about it.
You know, you put too much super glue on a surface, and when you're trying to like hold it there, it keeps like sliding around,
and then your thumb gets into it.
Oh god! Trying to plug it.
Yeah. Well, actually, that seems like you have put too much super glue on it. And it's sliding around, and so you're trying to, and then and you've got it all over your thumbs and stuff like that. At which point, she does come out of the back.
Okay.
Your Aunt Matilda,
No.
when she was buried in a teapot that was very near and dear to you because your aunt was very close to you. It seems like she's broken the spout off of the teapot where Matilda's been buried.
So, I found glue. In a few minutes, it will set.
She's making a mess. It's really bad.
It's not like a gen or something in here, right?
No.
Okay.
Just my favorite aunt.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Well,
It finally sets up.
okay.
So you can come put it
very
back on
carefully
there.
put it back up.
Now you have to pry your fingers off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a little brush from the kitchen and.
Well,
brush
Matilda
it.
didn't get out. It just,
That smokiness. Of
Oh, okay.
Just
It's just some of the extra dust. Matilda didn't get out. She's still in there.
She didn't escape.
No.
She's still there.
You never know. With all the ghosts swimming out around here, you might want to be careful about that. That's
like,
true.
I'm so sorry, Matilda.
Yeah.
It's okay. Okay. Accidents happen.
They do. I'm gonna do my drills outside from now on.
This outside toy.
Well, how did your
Oh,
Yeah, you finished.
bingo?
here's your badge.
Oh, nice.
It's been re-upped since we seem to be running into lots of
Well, actually,
battles.
remember, she never had a badge. This is her
that's
first
true.
badge.
That's right.
The only people that had badges
What does
were
it give
Bunk
me
and
again?
Volt. So
It's an armor 2.
right,
Oh,
your armor
okay.
2 lasts for about a
It
week.
lasts
That you'll have to
for a
redo it. If you want to, you can actually, once you get them, once things are a little bit less crazy, you can actually probably make them permanent enough that they would last maybe several months before you have to refix them. But that's
I'll have
once
to
things
research
calm
that
down.
because I only have one refresh point now.
What? What do
I'll
you
have to
mean?
research. I mean, I'm assuming that more goes into that to make it permanent.
No. You just have to have time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you've got an afternoon to work on each badge, well, you can do a bunch of
Yeah,
stuff with them.
okay.
But just you haven't had an afternoon to do anything besides fight evil.
Right.
Evil. Right.
Evil.
So.
Well, so what time are we supposed to have our rendezvous?
5. You're supposed to meet with Deacon
It's around
Fontainebleau
1.
so that he can offer communion to the good Catholics and at least a blessing to those who are not Catholic. And he said he's also going to try and get local law enforcement involved.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Those who are aware of the
Right,
supernatural
correct,
stuff that goes on
correct.
that maybe they're already using. All right. So I'll say, want some lunch?
Yeah, that sounds great. All I've had is coffee.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to the
Little jerry.
fridge. I'm gonna make I think I'll make omelets. I'll make omelets.
Hey.
Make omelets. It takes you maybe 30 minutes or so. 2 nice omelets. I guess your character isn't necessarily allergic to seafood, so you can make probably seafood omelets and stuff like that. So Della goes, "No, I'm making southwestern omelets." There we go.
Yes.
She makes you southwestern omelets. They're very yummy.
That's a
They're very
jam.
tasty. Yep. And you sit down and eat.
omelet.
Funny.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
Ba-ching. Yeah.
I thought you were being like, it can't be good. It's an omelet.
No. I love omelets.
Omelets are yummy. Yeah.
But I-
All right, so you finish up eating. It's probably about 1 o'clock, just about the time Volt has finished his lunch date. Yes. Which of you two would like to go next?
I figured I'd wake up around 10, honestly.
Okay, all right, around 10. What are you going to do?
Find something to eat. Check the news to see if anything went down at the cemetery.
No, actually, there's no mention on the news. You do need to probably reload your gun.
I need
you
to
did
do
fire
that.
it like 2 or 3 times last night, so yeah, definitely want to get the bullets ready and everything ready for that.
So I want to do that, and I also wanted to check the little Paranetter message board again, and see if anyone's mentioned there being ghouls around the cemetery or not. Because I know that a whole lot of stuff before said it was around like the docks and around that area.
Right.
And if no one said it, just kind of leave a little like, hey, beware.
Yeah. Nobody's mentioning anything about ghouls around the cemetery. They do mention that the ghosts are getting restless. And I think we'd also talked about that some of the Paranetters had disappeared a little bit. No new disappearances of the Paranetters, thank goodness.
Yes.
You type a few replies and things about that to several of the Paranetters to make sure that they have the right information for what they need to know. Nothing major. Probably takes you maybe 15-20 minutes to do that. Not very much.
Yeah. And then the rest of my time, I guess I'll spend just, making more bullets, getting my stuff back in order, and
Right, so you spend some time putting more bullets in the gun, reloading them. You have to use lots of kind of magical reagents to make them do what they're supposed to. But yes, you're able to reload all the bullets. Maybe it takes you 30 minutes to get all the bullets reloaded and put back in there and everything like that. So it's probably around 11:30 now. I'm not sure you're really hungry yet because you've only been up for about a little while.
I honestly got nothing more. That was about the extent of what I wanted to do. So.
Okay. You can kind of knock around the house, watch some more episodes of MASH if you want.
I think that's probably what I'm just going to do.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we had a little bit of downtime.
Oh, right. Exactly. It really has been. By the way, make sure everybody, if you've got any stress bubbles colored in, that you have, uncolored them because everybody's had a chance to rest up. Also, if you have any minor consequences, they're all gone. Unless only if you've got a major or moderate consequence or severe or an extreme do you have to really worry about those. But any mild consequences are gone and stuff like that. All right, so Bunk.
Wake up the usual time, noon.
Noonish. Yeah.
Get out of my head.
Practice, coffee practice.
Right.
All that. Kind of go through things. I think I'll go see my grandfather.
Okay.
Just to
That's right. Yeah.
check in on him, see how he's doing. Ask him. I mean, he taught me all this stuff. If he has heard about any weird stuff, that's been.
Your grandfather probably lives in maybe one of the outer areas of the city. Probably he's not a downtown kind of guy. Maybe he lives near Frenchman Street. What would you prefer?
Yeah, around there. See,
Okay.
that's probably.
All right. He probably does gigs every once in a while too.
Yeah.
So he lives near Frenchman Street. You go by his house, which is ironically in the same general area as Darwin lives, and you go by and see his house. He's in there. He's watching TV. You knock on the door. He comes and lets you in, and says, "Oh, well, grandson, what can I do for you today? Would you like something to eat? Like something to drink?"
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. Well, let me head to the kitchen. Heads in there, makes a couple sandwiches, BLTs, and grabs a couple beers out of the fridge, and comes in, sits down in the recliner, and you can kind of sit on the couch or one of the overstuffed chairs, and he says, "So, what brings you by?"
Well, let's come by check on you, and yes, I've ended up with this group of people that are like us, but not like us.
So they are aware of the other world and maybe wield forces beyond mortal ken.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, it's always better to run in numbers, especially when the larger things out there in the night go thumping around. One of the things that's been good is the Paranetters. have been able to protect each other and look out for each other. He says, you should really look into getting maybe an account on the Paranet.
Okay.
It's kind of a nice area to kind of keep up with what's going on, and you get the feeling that he's got a Paranet account. He says, I've been keeping up with some of the messenger boards and things like that, and it's good to see. There's a lot of people who are concerned about Paranetters who are disappearing.
My new friend said something about that.
Yeah, I would definitely keep an ear out and watch your back mainly, because if they'll go after Paranetters, they'll go after anybody. So be careful out there. But these group of people seem trustworthy.
So far, so good. I mean, we fought some devil man thing and won. And
The Devil Man. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a story I've heard growing up in the city. That's kind of interesting. You actually defeated the Devil Man.
I guess it's like apparently we thought we got him, but they showed up at one of the people's houses, and then they beat him again. And then we found this. We had a stick, and the stick was some kind of special thing. I don't know, Solomon, blah blah blah. He did this stuff.
He looks at you and he says, "The Staff of Solomon."
Yeah. And it
Just hold on.
Details,
Hold on. And he walks over to the bookshelf and he pulls out this book. Hold on one second.
Just the Staff of Solomon, nothing big, you know. Oh, I love it.
Oh, you see how it works?
Yeah, there's someone that's like jammed in the.
And he pulls out this book. Let me see. What are you doing?
I was fixing something.
Breaking
I was
stuff.
fixing something by breaking it.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you
He pulls out this book, and it's kind of old and dog-eared, and it's a little paperback, and it's by Robert E. Howard.
Okay.
And it's The Savage Tales of Solomon Kane.
Savage Tales.
And he hands you this book, and he says, you should read this. Robert E. Howard was a writer back in the 40s, and he had a character named Solomon Kane who was a Puritan who traveled around defeating evil and demons and things like that. And at one point, he owned the Staff of Solomon. Not sure it'll be really helpful for you to read the book, but it's definitely a good read.
I'll take it, yeah.
Yeah, so he hands you this paperback book, and the edges are kind of all yellowed and brown, because it's an old paperback book. And he says, interesting. The Staff of Solomon. Who'd have thought?
I know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, the church liked it, so
Yeah. Oh,
Your grandpa
you gave it to
said
the
it
church?
yeah.
You gave it to the church? Well, good. That's probably a good place for it to be.
Yeah, if you're gonna be safe there.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely don't want it falling into the wrong hands. I don't remember what Solomon Kane ever did with it, but I do remember he lost it at some point or something like that. I think he used it to defeat a city full of cannibals. Yeah, who knows?
sounds terrible.
Ghouls are flesh eaters, so you're kind of like
That's even worse than cannibals.
Yeah, well, there you go. He says, So he eats a sandwich for a while, sips on his beer, and he says, "So what else have you been up to?"
That's pretty much it. We're supposed to meet. I don't know, some woman tonight at St. Louis Cemetery #1, and I don't know. She's doing some things that's riling up the ghosts around here, and so we're gonna try to stop her from that.
Ghost.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Give me a minute. He stands up, kind of toddles to his feet, wanders into the back part of the house, and I think towards his bedroom. Comes back, and he's got this little brown bag. And he hands it to you and he goes, "Here. This is my mojo bag." What are you laughing about?
No, because the first thing that came to my mind was like, comes back to the brother, here you go, my drugs. This is my mojo bag.
My mojo bag. He says, just the loop, put it around your neck, wear it underneath your clothes. It'll keep you safe and protect you from harm and might even bring you luck. But
I'll take that.
yeah.
I'm all about the luck.
So he hands it to you, puts it over your neck, and it's got this weird little brown bag. He says, just don't open it up, because that'll let the magic out. This was given to me by a voodoo priest probably 20 years ago. Never failed me, but yeah, you can have it. Sounds like you're going to some dangerous places, and my time with dangerous places, the most danger I have is getting paid when I'm playing, trumpet.
That is
That's
dangerous.
hard to do,
It's
yeah.
hard to do.
He says, well, finishes a sandwich, says, well, look, don't be a stranger. Come see me again. If you hear any more about the staff of Solomon, you let me know what happens.
I
And he
will.
kind of gets this funny look on his face like, who'd have thought? And he says, but you be safe, be careful. Gives you a big hug on the way out. And then he kind of shows you out the door and goes back to sitting in the recliner watching TV. Interesting. All right. So,
I got Mojo back now.
yeah, Mojo bag.
Mojo.
It's got a black cat bone and something, that's
Smells kind of funny.
well, it's,
Put some breeze on it or something.
Oh, it doesn't smell bad.
Oh, good.
I mean, it's 20 years old. I mean, it actually smells a lot like cigarette smoke and
breeze it.
maybe a few other types of
Just
smoke
smoke,
that
yeah.
jazz musicians are around a lot.
Yeah.
So
It smells like a bar. So
it
good.
does. Probably
Real
a beer,
smoke.
a beer maybe spilled on it a few times too. So yeah, but it's in pretty good shape. All right, so it's about 1 or 2 o'clock. Who's next on what they're doing for the rest of the day?
I think that's everybody. Yeah.
If we get some time.
5 o'clock is when you're supposed to be at the St. Louis Cathedral, so
Okay.
you got a few hours.
I'm thinking about going back to the Audubon,
Mm-hmm.
to the tree, and
Keebler.
yeah, to the tree, and seeing if anybody's about. If I see the guy again, I'll just let him know that we discovered some ghouls. I think that's what's been messing.
Okay.
Just because I told him I would let him know if I found anything.
Okay.
And then I want to stop back by Terrence's mom, Clara's house.
Okay.
Check on her.
All right.
You looked at me. I have no idea what
No,
you were
me.
going to say. This.
All right. So you hop a streetcar and head down to Audubon Park. You head out into Audubon Park, walk around towards the tree where you met the guy before. I don't know if he ever gave you a name. I don't think he did he?
No, but if I'll just stand by the tree and say, ghouls are messing up the city. I think.
You're standing
And
there,
then
you kind of
walk
lean
away.
around the tree. There's still kind of the tinkling of the wind chimes in the tree. Every time you look up into the tree looking for the wind chimes, you never see them, but you can just hear them kind of blowing in the breeze. You're standing there, you start talking about ghouls, and all of a sudden you hear, well, normally you're supposed to walk around it 3 times Widdershins to summon the Lord of the Hill, but obviously you don't know that.
Might want to write that down.
Circle 3 times.
Widdershins. Whatever the heck that
Yeah, whatever
means.
Circle the Widdershins 3
No,
times.
just walk around the tree
That's a
3
way-
times Widdershins.
Yeah, I could never set up barbecue sauce either.
Yeah,
Either
right.
gotta be,
Worcestershire Widdershins.
That's either got to be a directional term or some method of by which you are supposed to be.
That's a
engaging.
directional term. You just have no idea what that means.
I'll look it up. I'm like, well,
And he's standing there. He doesn't look like he's changed a day. He's wearing the same clothes, standing there. He's leaning against the tree. He's got kind of this funny little snarky smile on his face. And he says, ghouls.
I was just returning the favor with him.
Well, obviously you were. Ghouls would not be able to muck about with the ley lines of this city. I appreciate your attempt, but that's not what's causing my people to have problems.
Okay. I'll
But
continue looking
it's
into
only
it.
been a couple days. Obviously, especially with you mortals, these things take time. You move so much slower than the rest of us.
Thank you.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
Alrighty. Well, there you go. If I come across anything else, I will let you know.
Well, then, let me give you a piece of information since you told me about the ghouls. Tonight, you are going to meet with some dangerous adversaries.
Yes.
If you can, at all costs, stop the drums.
All right. I appreciate the information.
And he gets this kind of funny look on his face and says, even if there are none. Get him! Get him! And then he turns around, and this time instead of walking into the tree, he walks around behind the tree, and then he's gone. Yeah.
I'm going to say that a Widdershins is walk behind the tree 3 times. Walk behind.
But how do you know which side is behind?
Yeah.
Oh crap!
You know, I figure if he answered this time and I didn't do it right, eventually I'll figure it out.
I could be completely wrong, but I think it's probably doing this, then this, then this, maybe. I don't know. Like a rotary phone.
I'm just saying.
I just think you gotta go and just knock. And
Yeah.
knock.
So the
Show
last
up on
time,
chainsaws. This
Yeah.
Yeah, look out for that one, probably.
Widdershins in a direction contrary to the sun's course, considered as unlucky. It's
Oh.
counterclockwise.
Oh, considered unlucky, huh?
Mm-hmm.
so the first time we ran into this guy was on March 10th. I'm just gonna say that because I put down a thing: mysterious men in parks saying vague things and walking into trees does not make a credible source.
Exactly right. what is the one? Is it was it damp tarts lying in bogs throwing swords at people? Yeah, that's Monty Python.
Monty Python.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I think he actually uses a not even less nice word for the lady of the lake. But anyway,
I was just laughing at the phrase.
yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
All right, but hey, I appreciate the information. So I will head to Miss Clara's, just check on her, and then I will head back to my house.
Okay.
I don't know if Miranda's still going to be there.
You
or not,
head
but
to
I'll
Miss
send
Clara's. It takes you probably another 30 to 45 minutes to get out there because it's in the 9th Ward. You walk down, of course, the old street. There's kids out playing in the street. Things are getting back to normal again. It's been 5 years since Katrina, but this area is still pretty burned out. You go to Miss Clara's door, knock on the door. Miss Clara comes kind of shuffling to the door and says, "Miss Della, now what brings you back to my house?"
I just want to check on you to see how you're doing. Do you need anything? Any groceries? Or
No, I've got so many casseroles that people are bringing me. I don't have a freezer big enough right now.
Need any help with your bills?
No. You know, funny thing, Terrence took care of most of that. He had a good job, and I guess he'd made some investments that were paying off.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's been taking care of. Also, that man you told me to avoid, Sidney St. Clair, he's come around a couple times, and I've turned him away. He's tried to offer me a little money, and again, I've turned him away. I told him Terrence took care of all that for me. But he's come by once a day trying to talk to me about certain things.
Good.
So, yeah.
Well, look, don't mention my name. Don't talk to him about me.
Oh, no. I just told him, that I don't want to talk to him, that, he's not a good person. And he got kind of mad. I mean, not angry mad, but mad when I said that, and said that I shouldn't be messing about in things that I don't understand. And then the second time I told him that, he said, "That's Della telling you those lies." I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
But look, I haven't opened the door to him. He hasn't come in, and so, yeah, he's left me alone. And I certainly won't invite him into my house. He's not welcome here.
Good.
Which,
Good.
as a practitioner, long as she doesn't invite him in, then the threshold will definitely limit his power. And even this is a house that's been lived in by, a couple boys, her. It's probably got a pretty strong threshold to it, at least a 3 or a 4, which means that if he tries to cast spells, he's got to get it past a +4 block, which means it's going to slow him down a bit.
Miss Clara, has he asked to come in and see Terrence's stuff, or
No. He just was offering me money a couple times. The last times he's been here, he's asked if he could help out with anything. He actually said he felt kind of bad about Terrence. I don't know. But I believe you, Miss Della, so I have not let him in, and I have certainly not taken any of his money, because you never know what kind of strings that kind of money comes with.
Right. Well, just Be careful of any strangers coming by and trying to come in and visit with you.
Well, I mean, there's always somebody who's trying to come in. Vultures that are circling around when somebody dies.
I know. You're good at watching.
Because they think that somebody's left me some money. And in this case, Terrence did. But I'm smarter than they are. I've been around this block a few times.
Okay.
And she says, "But thanks for checking in on me, Miss Della. You want some lemonade or maybe something to eat? Or
Sure, I'll have a lemonade. I just finished walking from Audubon Park."
She says, "Well, come on in." And so she, opens the screen door and you come in, have a glass of lemonade. She has some of those little cookies that come in the tins because she says people are bringing those by her all the time. She asks if you want any kind of casserole, if you want to take any home with her. So she's got like 20 casseroles in the freezer.
I'll take one just to help her out.
She hands you looks like a tuna casserole or something like that, and says, "Yeah, just bring me the glassware back, and I'll make sure it gets to the right person." So she sends you home with it. You catch the bus back up, towards your house, and it's probably about 3:30, maybe 4 o'clock by the time you get home. All right, so Miranda, you're knocking around Della's house. Mm-hmm. Della's left.
Literally, no.
I decide to clear out since I don't want to mess anything else up.
You work outside.
You didn't upset me.
I leave her a note saying I'm going to the cathedral, meet you at the cemetery at 5.
Well, you meet her at the cathedral at 5.
Cathedral at 5.
Right.
I send out a group text to the boys with an emoji of
Lord.
A bunch of weird emojis again.
It's
That sounds
a
right.
series of emojis telling them exactly what the plan is.
Okay.
They'll get it. They get me. And
I'm going to roll an investigation.
No,
I'm
you
going
don't even get to roll
to.
an investigation on that one.
What is the second?
That's her story.
Teapot.
Sword,
Oh, the
teapot,
teapot?
crying.
Yeah, see,
Mm,
there it is.
yeah,
Right
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
There's the
She hit
emojis.
the
Yeah.
teapot with the
Yeah.
sword, so she's crying.
Yeah.
I know this
She's
Yeah.
upset about
She went
it.
to church to pray and feel better.
I'm going to take a nap.
She's looking around because sheep are watching her.
Yeah.
It says, "I'm sorry for breaking the teapot. I'm going to the church to pray. See you at the cemetery at 5 o'clock."
See you.
I
at the
totally
cemetery.
understand.
Got it now.
I was like, where's your sheep in there? I understand everything else.
I can't remember the name, but I was thinking the exterminate guys. That's what I thought that thing was, and it wasn't.
This whole time I thought I was going to go to a church to look after the flock before we hit the cemetery.
That's
All
really
valid
far.
That's not
translation.
far
That's-
wrong. I mean,
All
it's
valid
not far.
translation. See, they get me.
That's right.
So I am going to the cemetery.
The sword
cathedral.
teapot thing, whatever, but
Right. She's not far from the cathedral. She's in. Jody, you're in. Where's your house exactly? Is it in the Garden District?
Frenchman.
Near Frenchman Street. Okay. You're near Frenchman Street. You're not. Wait, no, you're in the Garden District. Okay, so
Yes.
yeah, okay, right. So you hop a streetcar. You're able to ride it down to Jackson Square. Again, a lot of the minor practitioners are there. You see Sister Isolde doing tarot readings. You go into the church. Go in. There's no mass going on right now, so you can definitely go down front and pray.
Yeah.
Immediately when you walk in, you can feel just the calm and the peacefulness of the cathedral just kind of wash over you in a wave. And you immediately feel like you just kind of come home. You spend probably 30 minutes praying.
Yeah, 30 minutes,
Okay.
hour, something like that.
So it's about 2:30, 3 o'clock. Any time in particular? Anything you want to do for the last? You've got a couple hours.
Is there anyone here that we spoke to yesterday? Like that
You don't see Gabriel Beaumont, and you don't see Deacon Fontainebleau, but he's
Okay.
probably in his office, and Gabriel doesn't hang out at the church, at all hours, so you're not sure.
Okay, well, I was specifically praying about just guidance for tonight. To keep hands on everybody during the fight. I'll light a candle for Terrence. And then I'll just... Is there some lawns on the grounds behind the church? Or...
There is a little area behind the church where there's that kind of there's a statue of Christ and some other stuff. It's not I mean, you can get into it. It is open to the public, I think, during the day. Yeah. You can also go out to the little garden area in Jackson Square where the Andrew Jackson statue is.
I don't want to be swinging my sword around in Jackson Square.
Yeah, maybe not so much.
All right, so that explains so much. Because you're like, is there any lawn anywhere? And he said, yeah, it's got a little thing. It's got a statue of Christ. The sorry face go like, it's like, why was that wrong?
That's the time the sword works and slices it in half.
Right. Oh,
Which when it probably stops to work.
I was just gonna go limber up a little bit.
yeah, right.
And wait on everybody to show up.
So you go out to this little area, and it is open to the public, but you could probably close the gate. People go, oh, it's closed, because that's how tourists are. You close the gate, you kind of limber up and run through your sword katas. You do see a couple people come to the gate, kind of look in, see you're swinging a sword around, and immediately walk on, because they're not sure what's going on. And you
Put on the full armor of Christ in here.
That's right, sword of the Spirit. And so you're kind of chilling out doing that. Volt. It's maybe 1 o'clock. What would you like to do?
Test the defenses real quick.
You are able to turn on the faucet, and the water does come out. Yeah, you're thinking. And it basically, you've got these run around the bottom floor. Mm-hmm. They're not going to you probably don't want to run them up around the loft.
No, I just wanted the bottom.
Yeah, bottom floor. Yeah, bottom floor, definitely. You turn it on, it takes it maybe 5-10 minutes to kind of get a good sheen of water over most of the floor.
That's cool.
Okay.
I want it to be slow and gradual.
Yeah. If you turn it off, it'll take another 6 days for it to evaporate because, humidity.
At this point,
It's not going to evaporate at all. It's there forever. Yeah.
Probably not great drainage in here.
Well, no, it's just humidity. Nothing evaporates.
Oh,
yeah,
100% humidity. Yeah. Well, you're in New Orleans, which is even worse. Yeah,
right off the coast.
Yeah.
And
below
I guess I'll start until like 4 o'clock or 4:30 before I go down to the cathedral. I'll start tearing stalls out of the bathroom and opening it completely up.
Okay. You're able to do that. You kind of work in there. You got a hammer, sledgehammer. You're knocking those stall walls out. The sinks are...
A sledgehammer, them things are obliterated.
Yeah. Well, they're hard to take down, but you do it. You now have 2 toilets, a kind of small shower area. The 2 toilets are close enough now that people could use them and hold hands. That's important. Yeah. High five each other. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. But yeah, you're thinking maybe you probably only need 1 toilet. you may want to get a plumber in to actually seal all that and cap all that off. Yeah. So yeah, for sure.
I'll wait on that.
Yeah, right. Like I said, you're thinking you probably want to actually build in a bedroom down here. So you kind of make some measurements about where you would want walls to go and some things like that. So it's not too bad. There you go. All right, that takes you probably till about 4, and then you hop in the Impala, put on a clean shirt, maybe take your vest off.
Yeah, then I'll that's when I'll go to the black jeans, black leather jacket, kind of white shirt, mantra thing, whatever.
Gotcha. And so you hop in the Impala and head down there, hopefully to get there by about 5 o'clock. All right, so... Let's see. We've got you to 5 o'clock. We've got you to 5 o'clock. Jody, we've got you
That should be pretty close to 5 o'clock.
Right. So, Darwin, you've been watching reruns of MASH on DVD. Yeah. Around 4:30, you're going to head towards the cathedral.
Sounds good.
Cool. And, all right. 5 o'clock, you all meet up at the cathedral, St. Louis Cathedral. The door is closed. You get to the door and, I guess you probably come toddling around from the back.
Yeah.
Because the door you went on is locked now.
Okay.
You come around to the front. The door is locked, which is a little odd because normally they don't lock the doors to the cathedral. Knock on the door.
What is a special thing?
Door opens and Deacon Fontainebleau is in there. He's wearing basically the white acolyte's robes and stuff like that. He says, for tonight... the Archbishop has actually decided he would offer you Mass. It's a closed Mass, so normally we don't let the public in for that, just for various reasons. So come on inside. Goes in, closes the door, locks it back up. You go in, the entire place is empty. There's, a few candles lit, and, of course the lights are on in the actual church area. And you've actually never met the Archbishop. You've seen him.
Right.
You've been in meetings with him, but you've never really spoken to him. He's a very nice-looking young man.
What's his name?
Oh, you're gonna make me look things up.
Sorry.
Okay. No, it's fine. It is Archbishop Gregory Imond. Okay, and that is the actual Archbishop in New Orleans. So so he's there. He's up at the front. He's wearing his red robes. He's got the little hat on. It's kind of the close hat like there. He sees you down there. He's obviously preparing the elements, and he says, "Come in, please have a seat." Fontainebleau, kind of points you all to your, the front 2 or 3 rows, or the front 2 or 3 pews, I should say, and then he goes up to help with, basically the Archbishop. Begin with, the basically starting liturgy. There's no music or anything like that, but begin with the liturgy. The Deacon Fontainebleau is over to the side. They go through Lord's Prayer, a lot of things like that. The Archbishop actually offers a short homily about putting on the whole armor of God, which makes you feel kind of happy, and protection, and how God looks out for those who are doing His work. And then he, begins to bless the elements, and the Deacon Fontainebleau rings the little bells, and the Archbishop stands up and says, he takes communion. The deacon takes communion, and he says, "Any of you who are of the Catholic faith are welcome to come up and take communion. The rest of you may come up and receive a blessing."
Communion. Are the police officers here with us?
You haven't seen them yet.
Okay.
You go up to the front. Those who are Catholic are offered the wafer.
Probably just run up in the
Right, and actually, and then those of you who are not, if you walk up, he blesses you and says, go with God's blessing, my son, my daughter, those different things. It takes maybe about 30 minutes. This is the abbreviated form of the Mass, and he's pretty quick with it. And then he finishes up, and he comes down off the kind of little steps, and he steps in front of you, and he says, "Deacon Fontainebleau has told me that you are going to be doing the Lord's work tonight. I want you to know that you have my blessing and the Lord's blessing as well. I wish you the best. Be safe. There are not many who would stand against the forces of darkness, and we need all of them who we have." And then he, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, he, kind of heads back towards the little chair that's in the back and sits down. Almost immediately after that stops, the back door opens, and in come walking 5 people. They're tricked out in the typical kind of SWAT riot gear. One of them is a very dark-haired man. He's kind of tall, larger than life. Looks like he's about 6'2", broad shoulders. There's a young, short Hispanic woman behind him, a young, thin black guy, and then a red-haired short guy, and then a blonde, good-looking officer. Most of the women are immediately drawn their eyes to the blonde, good-looking guy because he's very handsome. They come striding down the way. Deacon Fontainebleau comes down off the steps and says, "I believe we were going to bless your bullets and possibly anoint them with holy water."
Yes.
And the 5 people come down there, and they stand, and one of them, you notice that actually
Can I take my sword down there?
Yeah, well, you can. The Hispanic girl actually does the kind of the little bow thing before she goes and sits in the pew. Mm-hmm. She takes out one of her clips from one of her guns. She immediately starts, kind of rolling the bullets out of it and lays them on the front of the pew. And you're kind of like, I think she may have done this before. The rest of the guys kind of follow her lead and immediately start rolling bullets out on the pews. And Deacon Fontainebleau comes
They go
out.
and follow their lead.
Yeah, okay, you can do that, yeah. Anybody else who has guns may do that? No, okay. You can lay your sword on the thing.
I got these guns.
Yeah, that's right.
I put my biceps on the pew.
Yeah, nobody does anything. Sorry, man. You see Deacon Fontainebleau come out with basically the little holy water sprinkler, and he goes, "In the name of the Father," and he's kind of blessing them like that. So everybody kind of picks up they pick up the weapons and put them back into the clip. You notice that a couple of the guys from the police precinct, the first bullet, one of them pulls out a knife, pops it open, and cuts across into the front. And then the first bullet, the first bullet's going to come out. The last bullet they put in, and they ram the clip home. The tall, kind of dark-haired guy comes walking towards you, Miranda, and he says, "Miranda."
I'm assuming I know who this is?
No, you've never met this guy. He says, "Sergeant James Jefferson. I'm in charge of this squad of the New Orleans Special Task Force. These were the 5 that were willing to help you tonight with what's going on. This young lady behind me is Detective Maria Vasquez. The gentleman behind me that you see, the tall, thin, kind of lanky guy, is Detective Antoine Washington. This gentleman," he points towards the red-headed guy, "is Michael O'Malley. He's Officer Michael O'Malley. And then the good-looking guy that most of you ladies can't seem to keep your eyes off of is Larry Williams." And Maria goes, "I don't know about you, but I am sick of looking at that guy." And so he goes, "Oh yeah, Maria, of course you are. That's what you always say." And they kind of chuckle, and you get the feeling that these guys know each other pretty well.
Miranda and Antoine detectives, James
sergeant. James Jefferson is a sergeant,
and then Michael and Larry are
just officers.
Yeah.
Okay. It's Maria and Antoine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll shake hands. Introductions. Yeah. Miranda, nice to meet you.
Yeah. And who's the rest of this group? Seems like we're a group of 10 tonight.
I'm Del Fontano, and I'm here to help Miranda with this problem. Mm-hmm. And I was given some intel earlier this evening that when we're out there, we need to watch out. We need at all costs to destroy the drums. And I was also told we may not actually see the drums, but just be aware that that's probably something that is either helping the ghouls, or if we destroy them would hurt the ghouls. So.
Right. So Sergeant looks at him and says, "Drums, got it. Those
are you
gonna
familiar with ghouls? Have you fought them before?"
Fought ghouls before. Drums generally aren't associated with them, but I understand we're heading into the St. Louis Cathedral to deal with some other things that are going on. Drums, got it. He says, "Guys, look out for drums, and make sure we target anybody who is drumming first." Yeah.
I didn't see you guys before now.
He shoots you.
It's fine.
Yeah. So, anybody else going to introduce themselves?
I'll just kind of initiate introductions and be like, "This is and this is
Darwin, General Handyman, pleasure.
And this fellow is
Victor."
Yeah. Muscle. Victor? Volt. I thought it was. He was telling Victor.
You're telling him Victor.
Yeah, Victor.
I don't want the cops knowing my name. I do some shady shit.
You notice that.
I don't want the smoke.
You notice that Sergeant Jefferson looks at your gun and says, "It's a mighty large caliber handgun you're packing there."
Yes, it is. It's very fine craftsmanship.
It is. Huh. Custom, obviously. Yeah, okay. He says,
"Can I see your papers?"
No, he didn't ask for papers or anything.
It's a regular cop, maybe, but
the Archbishop just let him in and bless him.
You notice all these guys are carrying rifles. They've got pistols on their hips. And, of course, the various and sundry things that policemen carry on their belts, handcuffs.
Feel underdressed.
Me too.
Really casual clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys are wearing riot armor. You're pretty sure that they're coming loaded for bear. Yeah.
Pretty badass.
So,
I mean, I wear my. I got my magic.
Oh, yeah, we're all wearing
You hear
our
the funny
badges.
thing about your badge? Your badge gives you armor too, right?
That's right.
You know how much all their riot gear gives them?
Right.
Armor too.
Hey.
You're not underdressed.
Yeah.
You're just more casually
Hey.
dressed. That's right. Yeah.
We just look cooler.
That's right. Yeah. So there you go.
We came prepared.
That's right.
So Sergeant Jefferson, your people seem to be outfitted for this sort of thing. You guys are experienced in this kind of.
We've dealt with a few threats. I've dealt with a ghoul once or twice. Couple Black Court vampires, though that was a nasty situation. Lost a few good men to that. Those are some nasty characters. We had a loup-garou that came into the town last couple of years. Good thing we had some silver on hand, especially antique silver. Wound up actually having to make the bullets to take that sucker down with my grandfather's pocket watch. Sad thing. I like my granddad. But yeah, I've been involved in a few altercations like this. There's a few of us out here who know what's going on in really going on in the world. Yeah.
Well, in the future, if you need any help procuring certain items to help with these things, feel free to
You're Della.
contact me.
He says, the White Council representative, the warden?
Yes.
He says, right. Heard about wardens. Never worked with one before. Hopefully this will be a good chance to maybe make some good connections.
Good.
I mean, this guy is very military,
I give
very
him
kind
my
of
card.
by the books, dark-headed, you know.
Very much
Fit
a
in with
unit.
us. I mean,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
fit
it's
in
gonna
with
be a
us.
different vibe, but
Yeah.
hey, you know.
He's broad shoulders. You know,
Yeah.
he's a typical. You get the feeling this guy was military before he joined the police.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. He
But
says,
I
all
let
right,
him know that
Guys, they're very
I don't-
tactical, but we have
phones don't always
spirit.
work for me, so.
right, gotcha. He says, so my understanding is that the meeting is at midnight.
Yes.
So we've got about, I don't know, 6 hours to kill. Anything in particular we need to do in those 6 hours to get ready for this meeting?
I guess we could try to get a lay of the land, maybe do some pre-investigating, see
Yeah.
if there's
Well,
any
let's talk
advantage
to him
we could
about
Got
what
it.
we did at let's not show him your original map, but just talk to him about
What, this one?
where they came in from.
Yes, we've
Wasn't it black everywhere?
the burn hole and the
I'm
missing
trying
white
to
box
tap
grave.
into like my military history for this. I'm like, I'm seeing a very different attitude from Miranda right now. She's trying to be serious because she's like,
You mean you haven't been trying this whole time?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
no, I just let that.
We were in life and death situations. Where have you been?
I mean,
He
you know.
When
he
the
actually
sword comes out.
Yeah,
I
right.
just,
Yeah,
I
that is
just mean
serious
I'm
strategy.
trying to have like the whole, I'm about this life attitude with these guys, you know?
Yeah, right. You head back towards the back of the church. There's a table there with a bunch of some tracts and some little booklets of the different liturgies and things like that. He kind of reverently places them on the second shelf so that the table is clear. Pulls a map out and he goes, we've got the Louis Armstrong Park here, really nothing there. We've got lots of buildings all around on the north, east, and south side of the cemetery. I'm thinking that probably Larry, you should find a sniper's nest in one of the buildings across the street. And Larry's the blonde-headed guy, really nice looking guy. And he says, got it, Sergeant, I'll take care of that. He said, the rest of us, we've got two entrances, south and east. Which do you think is best? Or do we want to hit them from two directions?
We were on the. Were we on the south
We
side?
were
were
on
on
the
the
south
south
side.
side last time, but
Last time they came towards us on the south side, so.
Aren't we meeting some woman and her
Yeah.
master, right?
Yeah,
Master-
apprentice and apprentice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
she didn't,
Let's.
I mean, if we can flank
Let's
them
set
at all
this-
possible, we
Can
want
the
to.
sniper set up on the east?
You could, yes. There's lots of empty buildings. He can probably make his way to the rooftops, still, for sure.
Which entrance has like maybe a better area that's like better kill zone or something?
None of them.
None of
I mean, there's just
very clustered
so
and
many
cluttered and
tombs all clustered around. I mean, there's kind of an open area to the north side, which is where a lot of the people who, when they die, are not, in the Catholic Church. If they want to be buried there, they can be buried there. He says, so what kind of resistance are we are we going to run into tonight? I know ghouls. You mentioned something about some woman.
Yeah, there's-
I think
don't
she's the
really
leader.
know.
Yeah, the leader and her apprentice.
So two
Oh.
potentially magically active.
Yeah, we're not really
individuals.
sure. They're the ones who are causing we're doing whatever that has been rallying up the ghosts.
And
It
of
was-
the 6 ghouls, we killed one.
So
But
5
it
left.
seemed like there might have been more somewhere else.
So we might run
I'm not sure.
into a large group of ghouls. Okay, ghouls
Also-
are pretty hard to kill. Yeah, go ahead.
There may be a chance of civilian interference. They seem to have like sway over human familiar type people, promise of power kind of thing. I don't know exactly what your approach to that would be, but it's possible they might have human shields.
Well, my personal feeling on that is if they've thrown in their lot with the powers of darkness, then there may be no redemption involved for them. So we may have to just go ahead and, if there's a human shield, I may have to shoot through. You're not sure how you feel about that.
Yeah.
Now, don't tell anybody. That's kind of the same attitude of the White Council. The White Council's they're necromancers. They're dealing with evil, trucking with demons. We should just kill them. Because either that or we're just going to have somebody show up and cut their head off. So, yeah.
Well, because if we don't kill them, they're going to kill us.
All right. So you're not sure how you feel about that. No, as a Knight of the Cross, redemption is
I'm
always
pretty sure
possible.
Yeah.
That's right. So
Pretty sure.
you're kind of going, yeah.
That's
I'm not
actually
sure how I
one
feel
of my
about that.
aspects.
Yeah.
No one is beyond saving if they want to be
That's
saved.
correct. As a Knight of the Cross, that is very appropriate. So, yeah.
For the record, Darwin's down with this.
Down with shooting through them. Yeah.
If it comes to Senor Mr. McRando waving a ritual dagger around, or me, I'm gonna choose me.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
I
obviously
understand
so, right.
I have no qualms with it either.
In the heat of battle, I do understand that sometimes decisions have to be made. But if there's a chance that we could not take out human life, let's try for that.
And
obviously not at the expense of your own safety, but
do remember, Warden, that killing someone through the use of magic is kind of a no-no. Killing ghouls, okay. Killing humans with the use of
Even if they're familiars?
Yeah. Not okay. Now, if you put a gun to their head and pull the trigger, White Council's like, hey, you didn't use magic, it's okay. They're still just as dead. Yeah, right. It's kind of a silly system.
Same for swords.
I'm sure they probably just don't want to be discovered, which is why no use of magic against humans.
Yeah, but they don't want they don't want to head down the slippery slope where people say, well, I did it because of this, so.
Right.
Alrighty. So you kind of
have a plan?
Yeah, what is our plan?
Our plan is Sergeant
James Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Jefferson, where would you like us to? Do you want us to just kind of be where we were last time? Like, because they're expecting to see us and not you. So what would be good for us to do?
I'm thinking that probably my men and I, at which point Vasquez goes, hey! And Jefferson looks and goes, please. You're probably more manly than most of the guys under my command. At which point the other guys go, hey! And he says, I think that we should probably come in through the south. You should go in through the eastern entrance. If my understanding of magic is correct, probably they're going to be doing the magic in an area that has a high significant aspect to it. Maybe Marie
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, nobody cares about that place. Maybe Marie Laveau's tomb. Possibly one of the other larger tombs that is there. Who knows? Maybe Nick Cage. His career's dead anyway. So
that's why he really built it.
Hey.
That's not a bad idea. However, do we want them to get into doing what it is they're here to do, or do we want to stop them from the jump? Do we want to funnel them to where we want them to go?
We don't know who they are.
right.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, he's just pointing out where they're going to try and head to.
Right. I'm just saying, do we want to let them get there?
So what time?
No.
So are you saying that maybe we should preemptively move into the position and try and catch them as they start?
Yeah, we can either
like
guess
stealth out.
we can either guess where they're gonna be and try to flank that position, but the place is a labyrinth. If they get away from us, they could disappear into the cemetery and get out.
It is.
Or do we force them to enter where we want them to enter and confront them before they start doing whatever they're gonna do?
Why not just confront them
Out of
outside
that
the
point.
entrance?
Outside the entrance?
I mean,
Or
there's
we
two
could-
entrances.
We could
Unless
try
they've
to
got a-
seal up one entrance to some degree.
Unless they've got a lair already
leave
in there.
one open, honeypot style. I don't know. I mean, they're
You know,
they're not.
maybe they have a huge
stupid, they
underground
know we're
lair
here.
underneath one of the crypts or something. I don't know.
Could be.
know.
I mean, we're not gonna surprise them. They know we're here.
Yeah, she's already made the call.
So
So on the phone, did she ask to meet with us? Is that what it was?
She said, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night.
So they all know that we're going to be here.
Well, so we could be the spearhead, draw the attention,
Right.
while
Let the
They're
special
just
task
backing
force.
up. We'll be the anvil. They can be the hammer.
exactly, and so
But-
they can do the sneak attack, you know, or
We
whatever.
could draw the
it is.
attention, try and see where they're going to keep them from it.
All my military theory right there: hammer and anvil.
Yeah, I like
Got
it.
it.
Not
I like
bad
it.
theory.
I
Not
read
bad
2
theory.
chapters of The Art of War.
That's kind of old school.
Nice.
We'll do some Clausewitz to
Let's
read.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, courses. No.
Yeah.
Well, I know that the food supply.
Yeah, right. It's
integral.
important. That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we kill all the humans.
That's
All
right. There you go.
Victor
Right.
leaves.
Right. Okay, so we'll set up a location where we think that they're going to.
Commenters?
Yeah.
Is that what we want to do? Do we want to meet them at the door? Or do we want to just call it Marie Laveau's grave and hope that that's where they're coming?
I think we should meet them at the door.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah.
I think they're expecting to meet us at the door.
I
Yeah,
think so too.
yeah. Because
Okay.
where were Oliver? Because was Oliver was the guy who was running.
Right.
Yeah, that's the.
If we
Yeah,
He was
wherever
run-
he was going
His station?
To. Yeah, his station.
his station, because if we present as if we're not trying to ambush them
And this is an actual meeting.
and it's an actual meeting, then they might not know about these
Then
guys.
they may actually be ambushed.
Right.
Could be.
Especially if we pull it onto us, yeah. Like,
All right. So he says, okay, so you're going to try and convince them that this is a parlay, a chance to talk.
Yes.
Coming in through the south or east, which do you think would be the best place to meet them?
We
South
were
is
at
where
South
Oliver's place
entrance,
was.
the one where
Okay.
Oliver
Which
was,
one
and I
was?
think that's the
South.
one they used
Okay.
before,
Then
correct?
you come in through the south, we'll come in through the east.
Is there any way that we can make sure that East Gate is locked? Not.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, because we don't want them be all sitting here and then have them coming in.
I got a chain and a padlock. We can make sure that is locked down. Yeah, so he says, okay, no problem. So you'll come in through the south or wait for them at the south entrance.
Okay.
When do we want to set up our operations? Maybe 11 o'clock?
Maybe a
about
little
an hour.
earlier than
Earlier,
Yeah.
just in case they decide
Yeah.
to scout
So, you
out.
know-
How long
what,
do
if
y'all
they're-
need?
We're ready to go. Lock it and load, but we can always,
Did you ever place the thing that you made from the thing that you stole?
Oh, yeah,
She
you're
did,
listening.
yes,
Yeah,
you did.
I
You
did.
set it up. You
I didn't
did.
have time to listen. I went home with the bed, got up and did this.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I mean,
We got from now till 12.
true.
Well, you can listen
If
after
you wanna
tonight
know.
if
I
we
will do
So you have to
survive.
be at your
yeah.
house to do it.
Well,
So
you
I'll go hang out in my basement.
We might die, Darwin, but
You don't
Don't
have a
worry.
basement. You're in
Glorious
New Orleans.
day.
Nobody has
Oh,
basements.
that's right.
You have
What am I
swimming
thinking
pools,
about?
but you
Yeah.
don't have basements.
I went to the
Darn ain't
bathroom.
dying.
yeah.
To my special
We might die, Darwin.
And listen.
Some of us might.
No.
We might die.
Everybody
Would
can
you
head
like to
back.
reserve a ticket on this ride?
Everybody can head back to your house and listen in because
Okay.
it's literally everybody can hear what's being
All right. Well, I'll
said.
take them back. And,
Okay, so
Because it's like
Sergeant
we still have
Jefferson.
6 hours, right?
Yeah.
Sergeant
Yeah,
Jefferson
right.
says he'll meet you at the at Lafitte's blacksmith shop just outside at 10 o'clock.
okay.
All right, and we'll head in together from there because Lafitte's is like maybe 3 blocks from this place.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Just saying, if anyone gets attacked, just scream.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
I'm not saying emojis.
just to let you know, all of you who have received the anybody who didn't go up for a blessing or communion,
I went for the blessing.
I went
Yeah,
for
we're good.
communion.
Yeah, I definitely
I did
want
the
a blessing.
anybody who didn't.
Yeah. We all know.
Oh,
Okay, everybody gets an extra fate point. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, gotta get one more. And then I got you. Okay. And
I've got 2.
everybody gets +1 conviction for the scene in the actual St. Louis cemetery. Okay.
I just want to add it to.
And you may
Conviction in-
one time per scene in this particular scene add +1 to a roll that supports the mission. So
Is that the
you
conviction?
yeah, well, you get a +1 to
Things
just
to
this
top it
one
up.
scene to your conviction. So if you get a 5 conviction, you have a 6 now, right?
But you said it at one time. I'm sorry.
No.
And then you may add +1 to a roll that supports the mission. So if you're trying to,
In addition to the conviction.
in addition,
That's
right,
what I was wondering.
right.
Okay.
So if you're trying to kill a bad guy, you can say, okay, I'm going to use my bonus thing to get a +1 to make sure my hit really hits hard.
Can we use a
Awesome.
bonus thing for someone else?
No,
Okay.
you may not. Okay. Also realize that all your bullets have been blessed, as well as your swords, so they do count as holy items at least for the next few hours.
Can my brass knuckles be blessed or no?
Yeah, they can be.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
So that'll work. But yeah, that's what you get from this. Yeah, that can be. Yeah.
The little
No,
inscriptions
like-
of crosses on each little thing.
Right.
I just imagine it's like, yeah, puts them on. There's like little faint smokes, like disconcerting, but yeah.
Oh, it doesn't hurt me.
No, that's right. It doesn't bother him. It's just a dragon.
Just a dragon.
That's right. All right. So you head back to Della's place. You go back into her thaumaturgy lab, and she's got this weird circle set up with this little piece of rock, maybe a little corner of an urn, and then it's got this weird silver ear thing like you've seen in The Hobbit that the guy was using to listen out of, right? So it's an ear thing, yeah.
Okay.
And it's attached to this little piece of stone with a piece of copper wire.
I have two of them. I
And
have
you
one
also-
in the 422 and one.
Right, and same kind of silver little, cone thing. And so she's got two. One of them is from the 422. You can hear a little bit of noise from that about people going to this bar. It seems like a cop bar. They're talking about, I arrested this guy. I can't believe he's doing this. Nothing really important. The one you're interested in is the one that's from the cemetery. And so you're listening to it. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot going on. It's about 8 o'clock. The cemetery gates are closing. There's not really... You can hear the last ghost tour that's going through there. He's talking about, Nicolas Cage's tomb and how, that he had bought the Laurie Mansion and therefore he purchased a tomb in or a plot in the St. Louis #1 because he thought he'd been cursed by this town. You can hear him talking to you about some of the different Italian and the French areas, and then there's the battalion of New Orleans statues and stuff like that. And so there's he's kind of giving them a rundown on this, the different tombs that are in the walls of the actual St. Louis cemetery and some things like that. And he's giving kind of a background, and then he says, "Now remember, when you leave the St. Louis cemetery, make sure that you kiss your hand and touch the door lintel, because otherwise, if you don't, then a ghost will follow you home."
Been there, done that.
Yeah, right. And then you hear you hear a bunch of kissing and smacking the lintel and people coming out and stuff like that. So,
I don't do it.
No. This is just the guy who's talking.
Oh,
yeah. You're not there.
We're
yet.
just listening to this.
listening to this. Yeah.
You're like, I don't do it.
No, he's just saying that on principle. We're like,
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah, let everybody know.
No.
When we did our tour,
Like
I
that.
didn't do it. But when I came home, I had pink eye.
You did what?
I had pink eye. Dun dun dun.
Because something
man.
flew in your eye.
Yeah, I know. That's right. That's right. It's a
Man,
ghost.
what kind of
The
ghost
ghost, yeah,
farts
ghost
on your
guy.
pillow, man?
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
A dick.
Yeah, they're a really bad ghost. All right.
So,
So you're listening in. Things are pretty quiet. You don't hear anything. Once you hear the gates actually crunk, it sounds like somebody locking them up. Things get pretty quiet. Nothing going on.
Interesting what ghost poop farting on pillows.
That's right. 30 minutes goes by. You don't hear anything. Maybe a few birds, things like that. 10 o'clock rolls. Well, 9 o'clock rolls around.
I bring
Again,
snacks out
nothing.
once in a while.
Yeah, right. You get some probably Gardettas or something like that. 9:30. You don't hear anything, so it sounds like it's quiet in there. And you're supposed to remember to meet them at 10 o'clock at Lafitte's. So you probably all pile into the Impala and head down to Lafitte's. It takes you about maybe 15 minutes to get there. Volt finds a place to park that's kind of off the main street. And you all head to Lafitte's. Outside Lafitte's, you see what looks like a van. It's a white van, very nondescript. It's sitting in the front seat is what looks like Sergeant Jefferson. So it seems like they're all hanging out in the van, at least not trying to have a SWAT presence outside Lafitte's, which is probably a smart idea. You walk up to the window. Sergeant Jefferson says, he kind of rolls down the window. So, we good to go? We want to roll that direction?
we're good to
Yeah.
go.
All right. We'll take the east entrance. You take the south, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, should we have a code red signal or something
You
like that?
have a cell phone, right?
Oh, yes. Let me get y'all's number.
I'll send you a text.
Okay.
So
You're
he-
somebody yell gumbo.
Yeah,
Wow.
gumbo, really. He gets all your phone numbers, kind of does a group text thing. Do you have a phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess you can.
Not sure you want the cops having your phone,
All
huh?
right.
I'll stick close to Bunk.
Okay. So he gets all your phone numbers, and you kind of he
I
puts you in a
remind
group.
him that my phone option doesn't work.
Yeah, that's all right. You
So
stay
you're
close
not
to her,
giving your
right?
number to
No,
the
I'm
group
not
chat?
giving my
Okay.
number to the cops.
Okay.
As an assassin, no, I'm not giving my number.
Got it.
My phone is just.
Oh, gee.
I don't own one.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
have a phone.
Don't
New
own
in
a phone.
town.
And hers doesn't work, so.
What do you
Uh,
mean assassin?
Huh?
Hashashin.
Did I say that out loud?
Hashashin. So the three of you give him your numbers. He puts you in a group text, and then says, "All right, we're good to go." So he heads out to you head down to the south entrance, and the van begins moving down the street. Takes you maybe 5-10 minutes to walk down to the south entrance. South entrance is locked. You notice that the guard station is closed and dark. So Oliver is not there.
Is the window still broken?
There's a big piece of plywood there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So,
Just wondered.
yeah.
Okay, so do we have a key?
No.
We're just gonna
We
wait
didn't
here.
think this through. Alright, so I guess we're just waiting for them to show up.
She's the
From
one that
Dick
said
and
she's gonna
Chocolate?
meet us here, so
Well,
Because this is supposed to be like a little meeting parlay thing, so I guess we wait outside till we're invited in? or
we just
something?
line up against the brick wall like an album cover, you
well,
know?
if you
Yeah.
remember, Oliver was letting them in.
Yeah.
Right. Has the guard shack been...
It's got to be a
whatchamacallit?
piece of plywood in front of the window.
I don't think she's gonna be worried about getting in.
Yeah.
No, I
Well,
don't think so.
then we just wait here and let them cover the east entrance.
I do.
Yeah.
How is this fence really tall?
It's got that broken glass on top.
It's got broken glass on top. It's about probably 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
I mean, no, not quite that tall.
I mean,
probably like 15
we've
feet
got
tall.
a taxi.
Well,
We
what
need to
I'm
get over.
thinking is if we have a couple minutes, maybe check the cemetery quick for drums.
The door's locked. You're going to go clip the chain. I mean, you can. I'm sure he could open the door
he
for
can
you.
get.
I can break things really well.
You can.
That's one of my strongest things that I can do. Or best things I can
I should
do.
have just asked Deacon Fountain Blue for a key.
It's all right. It's just chain.
I could try to pick the lock.
Yeah.
Or we could do that much more subtle approach.
No,
Why
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
you do
the
that
lock.
in front of the police?
But they're on the other side. They can't
No, they're on
see
the east
anything.
side. They can't see us.
Oh, okay. Pick the lock, Bunk.
Yeah, I'll try
And
to
I'll
get
stand so
Yeah, burglary?
whatever-
Well,
Yeah.
and I think
rock
in
and
this
roll. All right,
special
make a roll.
circumstance, They might not.
wherever the sniper might be, I'm standing in front so he can't see what we're doing.
Oh no.
You don't know. But what'd you get?
-2.
Oh, yeah. No, not so much. Yeah.
Yep.
The padlock is obviously a high quality padlock that has
Yeah.
defeated your.
Blessed by the church, of course.
Right.
That's
That's
why
what
you can't
it
get in.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
You don't know where the sniper is. You're not really sure.
I was just trying to maybe just cover it so they didn't.
So you're up at the gate. You've tried to pick it, didn't work. What do you want to do?
do we want to just go in?
Let's
Is
just wait
it
here
dark
for them.
out? Are the people about?
Well, it's just 10, 15, 10, 20 is dark. There's people out, but nobody's really paying attention to you guys. You know.
I mean, we got air support.
Yeah.
Can you and go over and see if there's anybody.
Oh, duh. Yeah, okay. And I just lift people over.
Okay.
I fly with people over.
Okay. So you who are you gonna take first?
Her first.
You really don't even have to fly over. You can just pretty much jump over, drop her off, jump
Okay.
back over. It takes you maybe 10 minutes to lump. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
People are throwing up on the other side.
You get everybody over and inside. There's kind of a little entrance area that is a little larger area between the tombs. But again, as you land, you realize how much cover there is. There's these walkways that kind of go between the tombs. There's a kind of a main walkway that goes straight north from you. And then there's all these little alleyways leading off everywhere. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can't see anything.
So let's find a place.
And it's dark, so you're just going, holy crap.
Maybe
It's
find a place
really bad.
where
It's
we
a
could
literal labyrinth.
stand so that the police can see.
No. There's
No?
too much
All right.
There's too many tombs in between. They have no idea where you are. I mean, there's just so much.
So we really
I'll show you the
need-
pictures again if you want to see. Yeah.
So really, I think
Yeah.
we need to be outside of here so we have a shot to take some of
Do
them
you
down.
want to check to see if there's anybody
Before.
inside
Like, can we just
Now,
see if
or just kinda,
anybody's early?
like, go to the
or
Laveau's
do we hear anything?
tomb
Go
or
to Laveau's tomb. You can't. Well, make a alertness check to see if you're trying to figure out if you hear anything going on. Now it's about 10:30, so yeah, there you go.
Knowing how these series go, you know,
One.
we didn't hear anything for hours, but the moment we shut Dell's door, you know, it's the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Ooh,
Got 3.
Nice roll. So what's we got?
One.
One. Kylan? Alertness.
Do
Um,
alertness.
So I have echoes of the beast
Okay.
and being dragon reptiles
Right.
or whatever. It says I can do one minor thing that normal people can't do related to the abilities of your beastkin.
Right.
This might be like by tracking scent, like for a wolf, or finding your way around while blind or in total darkness. Hiding in plain sight like a chameleon. Could I like maybe use some like I don't know, sense of smell?
Tell me
Like
you're gonna do
reptile?
forked tongue. Oh,
I was thinking about
Yeah,
snakes.
actually,
Can I do
well,
something
dragons
like
can
that?
actually detect invisible things, so I could see that. So
Maybe
yeah,
sniff the air and get like
Yeah.
a +1 to the skill or something.
Absolutely.
alertness?
That seems reasonable. Very, very reasonable.
Sure, sure.
That's what I was thinking.
That's right. The air of New Orleans kibosh is all of
You
that.
need like a little
I could throw up.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the season and what's going on.
It's a cemetery. It's reasonably clean.
It's March.
No. You guys are like November, so it's cold.
Oh,
it's,
so yeah, it's not a
it's as
problem.
cold
You're
as
good.
New Orleans gets.
Real
Yeah.
time.
yeah, real time. Yeah.
Was,
that's-
Okay.
was everybody in the van when we left? All of the SWAT members were in the
As
van?
far as you know, the only person you saw was James Jefferson. Yeah. There could have been nobody in the back
We got
of the van,
sniper
but you don't
cover
know.
at some point. We did hear him
Yeah,
say
I just
that.
don't want him seeing me change. So
No,
I'm
he
seeing if
hasn't. He hasn't.
Well, I don't know if he's already set up. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you have
So,
no idea. Yeah.
I'm not gonna change, so my alertness isn't gonna be super good. But
Well, look, you're on their side, so probably
Well, no.
I'm looking for
Now,
you.
now realize, you're also in the cemetery, which means there's lots of cover. So he's not going to be able to see you. I'll show you the picture again.
well,
Yeah.
I got a +5 without shapeshifting.
Oh wow!
So
yeah,
I rolled really good dice this time.
you kind of tongue thing, and you kind of feeling around to see if it. You think you hear something from the northwest.
Okay. So, the Northwest tastes sour.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Huh? Come
And
on.
I began skulking.
Like how Bunk had the exact reaction.
Yeah, pretty sure something's over here.
Yeah.
all right, well, then let's go.
All right.
Should we split
do
up or
we need
go
to
all
do
together?
we need
We
to
go together.
stealth?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a
Hold us,
stealthy
stealth
stealth.
My stealth is at 0.
Stealthy
Is stealth a specific thing, or
Yeah,
is it?
yeah.
Stealthy.
Okay, now I'll find somewhere dark to change.
I have +1.
I got a 2.
If that's cool.
Yeah, it's fine. No, there's lots of shadows you can hide in.
forward.
Yes, absolutely.
Look at that.
I mean,
Oh, wow. Okay,
Who
there's
needs
your
stealth?
+4s.
What do you got? Fire dice.
I feel like my character is basically a paladin, and I roll stealth like
Wow,
every
you
time.
got a 4 as well?
Wow.
No, that is
No,
I
she
got
just
a
went, that's
1, I
terrible. I'm going to
reset
just
this.
roll all this over here. So
this
plus
is just for me to
4.
feel better. I just said all the plus
0.
so I can look.
Ghost.
Let the
Dose.
bad weight settle down.
What'd you
3.
Okay, and
1.
okay. You
That's
begin
average.
moving. Are you guys going to move to Marie Laveau's tomb? Because that's west.
That-
You're sensing things to the northwest.
We're going to follow
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Following the nose.
Okay.
Or the tongue. Or
Good
Begin heading.
nose.
Now it's about 10:30. You're heading between the tombs. There's, oh my gosh, so many tombs, little narrow alleyways, and I'll be honest with you, it's making you a bit paranoid because you're thinking, oh my gosh, something could pop out from between these tombs, and we would never know. I mean, there's lots of little alleys and stuff like that.
I'm gonna shoot a text really quick to the super troopers to let them know that we are moving in this general direction
Yeah,
because they're
northwest,
unaware
yeah.
of our movements.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
I'm going
smart.
to tell her,
That's smart.
please use words.
Oh yeah. They don't get me.
At which
yet.
point her phone dies.
Oh,
Here's a fake one.
At which point her phone dies.
Did it really die?
You're too close to her.
Oh,
Don't
man.
take
You're also
that.
a little stressed out.
Don't take that.
No, I'm not gonna take it.
You take it.
I'm not gonna take it.
Don't take that.
I really want it, but
You can take it.
Your phone, you're not sure. You're having a little trouble getting a signal,
okay, I'm gonna
but you,
choose mine. I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
at
No,
which
I'm not.
point her phone,
Yes, I
but you can't get a signal in here. I don't. Maybe it's all the granite or stuff like that. You're not sure what's going on.
Well, let's just.
You're not.
It's Christmas.
You're moving through the tombstones and stuff in the cemetery. You kind of keep into the shadows, very quiet and things like that. You got a plus. No. What'd you get for your stealth check?
+4.
What'd you get? 0, 2. What'd you get, Kyle?
3.
3, 1. Okay. Bunk, I'm gonna need a mic check.
Oh no.
You can do it, Bunk.
You can do it. You can do it.
You can do it. You can do it. Ooh, nice.
2. All right. You guys are moving between the tombstones and stuff like that, heading towards the northwest where you've determined the problems are. Everybody make me a alertness check.
Dead even.
1. I also got dead even.
1.
I got 2.
I'm about to say 1.
4.
Whoa.
You've noticed that Bunk is no longer with you guys.
What?
Okay. Yeah. Bunk is no longer with you guys.
I'm sorry.
I say, where's Bunk?
Yep. Bunk, something from between the tombstones has grabbed you and drug you between them. There's just something holding you there. It's over your mouth. You can't talk. You're just like,
Gross.
no, yeah. It's like these black tendrils have just wrapped around you in your mouth and stuff. I mean, you can see one of them's actually across one of your eyes, but you can see out of one of your eyes. I mean, you just can't move. You kind of look around, trying to figure out what this is, and these tendrils are pulling you in this very shadowy area between the tombs.
No.
At the end of the hallway is a dark cloaked figure wearing a black mask. You can see it's obviously human shaped, and the voice says, "One at a time." And begins pulling you. Basically these tendrils are kind of coming off of this person. They've grabbed you, and then they're kind of moving you towards the northwest. All right, so you've noticed Bunk is gone.
Can I track him or see what's
He does have the stinky mojo.
It's survival?
now.
his survival thing?
His survival's a thing.
I have it at a 0.
You can roll. Nothing says you can't roll. You can also tag aspects, anything that might help you.
Yeah, we'll see how
You
this
can
roll
tag a
goes.
cemetery, too. Well,
And I don't even know if it succeeds, but I'm going to go ahead and tag the aspect friends with benefits.
He is your friend, that's true.
And I'm going to just add a +2 to it.
All right, so what'd you get total?
5.
All right, wow, 5. Well, that's pretty good, yeah. All right.
It's twice, man. All right.
Yeah, that's twice as I said.
You kind of backtrack a bit. All of you are kind of following.
This
Volt.
2010, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Before all these things happen.
I just want to make the comment he didn't scream, so what are the chances he's all right?
Yeah, or dead.
Guys, everybody.
That's right, he
let's
wasn't
figure
when he
out.
said scream, so...
I was.
We need to all,
Yeah.
I'm gonna send out a text to the group and be like,
Oh, is your phone working?
attack.
I think your phone died.
I don't know if it's working or not. I don't know if my last thing.
Well,
got
you're
sent
you're
out.
having trouble getting a signal, but so yes, okay.
Probably not.
You head back a couple 20, 30, maybe 40 feet, and you see what looks like somebody's feet shuffling on the ground in the dirt that's there. You think it's probably Bunk, and so you see that this shuffling movement has moved between two of the tombs, and it's a really narrow area between the tombs. Looks like a really good area for an ambush. You're nervous.
Do I have any utility string?
Are you telling
in
us
my?
this?
I don't know.
Well, y'all didn't just let me walk off, did you?
No,
No,
I'm
we're
thinking you guys
following you,
following
I
me.
mean,
No, I
Yeah.
feel like we're
If
scrap.
it's
I think he was
Link
drugged back
arms.
through this tight area.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
We should link.
You're gonna have to go
arms.
single file. You're a little.
Everybody,
It's very
Hold on.
dark.
T-shirt buddy.
I'm curious here right now. So you said feet kicking.
Mm-hmm.
Was Volt the only one who saw that?
Yes.
Okay. I just want
Now-
to make
now
sure
once
we
he
weren't all
points-
just standing here watching these feet kick corners like,
Once you look at the ground and he points out, look, the dirt is disturbed here. It looks like somebody was drugged this way. You can see it very obviously. Yeah. So yeah.
Everybody grab onto the person behind you's T-shirt.
You go first, and
Okay.
I'll bring up the rear.
Sounds good. All right, I'll go first. Grab my T-shirt.
I got your shirt too.
Okay.
I'll bring you to success.
All right, I'm going to follow. Can I see
It's
if there's a trail to follow?
Very, very dark. Okay.
I'm gonna use
really
my phone
would like.
flashlight.
Okay, your phone's not working
Oh
right.
God! Would I have brought?
She's nervous. What do you want? Don't you create light? We had this discussion last time.
Oh, did we? Yes, I'm
Yes.
creating light.
On what? You create it on her phone for all you
Yeah, I'm
want.
gonna create light on her phone.
Yeah.
You think it's working now?
That's right.
Really trying to
That side of her phone starts
that-
glowing.
Is
Yeah.
that the first time you've
Yeah.
ever touched someone's phone and it started working?
Yeah, right. Yeah, then you look at the back and realize it's just glowing. There's
all-
nothing
it's all
really right.
big. It's all
What the heck?
big.
Why is the back of my phone? Oh, never mind.
My
okay, so,
phone screen lit up by magical light after you ruined my
yeah,
phone.
but
is
all
the
it
best
is is
thing
the
that's
phone
ever-
screen just glowing. It's not actually showing anything. It's just glowing. Right.
That's
Great.
amazing.
She's caused all the pixels to fire at once, as bright as possible. That's it.
All right, I'll use it as
Can
light.
I also put light on the tombs?
No, not really. The problem you're having with the tombs is these are holy relics. You don't want to mess with the Catholic Church's. Yeah,
Right.
this would be a bad thing to
But
do.
I could
yeah.
like put light on, say, his shoulder or his shoulder.
Something he's carrying. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't probably put it on a person.
We'll just stick with the phone because I don't want to
Yeah.
make everybody
We have
targets.
badges.
You can make the badges
Oh, the
glow
badges-
for all
the
that
badges
matters.
will glow.
Right? Absolutely,
Is that
absolutely.
good?
Okay, so you badges start glowing, your phone starts glowing, your badge starts glowing too, and you
Nice.
begin moving through this little narrow alleyway. You are heading down the alleyway, and you notice behind you it gets very, very dark. Okay, you may look.
Yeah.
A large shape has just blocked the area where you just came through.
Okay.
Okay. In front of you, you notice that there are several large shapes in front of you. And from behind you, you hear the voice say, "Told you we'd meet again." You're pretty sure that's one of the ghouls from last night.
Yeah.
I thought it
Alright.
was the dad from the Baker residence.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Any idea? We don't know what
Like,
time
guys,
it is.
this
Can we
is
guesstimate? Is
About
it close
10:30.
to the
It's
time?
10:30. It's
What
10:30.
time are the police going to be set up? 10:30.
No, they were coming down when you guys
They were
did, so
already
they
there?
should be somewhere close
So,
by.
okay.
I think
Yeah.
11 is
So-
when they're going to be.
Yeah.
What are the chances of them seeing these lights that I've put up?
Now, Bunk, what
No.
you've seen is that
Because the lights are only on
these tendrils have grabbed you, and there's this guy or a girl or something in a cloak. He's wrapped this stuff around you. He's pulling you towards the
I thought so.
northwest.
Unless I
And as
missed
soon as he
something.
pulls you out of this little narrow area,
I just assumed
these
the whole-
4
big shape.
ghouls, the guys from last night, close in around the end. And he's moving you towards the northwest. And he says, you know, the young man who we, and you can tell it's obviously a guy now, the young man who we were using for the ritual the night before last, unfortunately gave up the ghost. But you'll do. And you're like, you can't get rid of this. And he's kind of got this stuff wrapped around him. He's dragging behind you. He takes you past several of the larger monuments towards the northwest where there's this grassy area. And you notice there's a person waiting there for him. They've got this ritual circle set up. It's been laid out in salt and things like that. And the person standing there says, 10:30? 11 o'clock? It's not even the witching hour. Will this even work? And the guy with you says, well, let's find out. Strap him to the chair. In the middle of this circle is, for what all intents and purposes looks like an old electric chair.
Oh my god, I knew it!
And the things and stuff like that. And so he moves you into the electric chair. You're fighting the whole time, and he reaches over and slaps the arm holds on you, and the little thing on top of your head. And you notice that this electric chair is hooked up to what looks like a car battery. And then let's cut back to everybody that's in the alleyway. So, alertness. Okay. Let's do our combat here. Alertness.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say
No, don't roll,
I'm
don't
sad
roll, don't
that
roll,
it's
no
you
rolls,
and
no
not
rolls.
me in this percent. Because that's like the optimal level of helplessness.
It's just like,
Right. So anybody with plus threes? No, remember you just go with what you plus
Yeah, you just
threes.
go with
All
what
right,
you
you're
have
plus
plus
3.
three.
All right. You were probably up front.
I'm taking the rear.
I was right
Okay, you were
behind
probably up front following the tracks. Honestly,
Okay, we can swap.
so you were probably right up by her. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The probably got either Darwin or Della bringing up the rear. I'll let you choose who's bringing up the rear.
I'll be third. You can bring out the rear.
Okay. All right. So you're first. You're right beside. You're right beside Miranda. It's going to be really hard to move past her, but you're able to move in 3 dimensions, so it doesn't really matter.
wings.
Yeah, you can kind of squirt up out of the top of this thing and then swoop down if you want
Like
to.
a bottle of ketchup.
That's right.
Full up.
So what are you gonna do?
Like a bottle of ketchup.
All right. So you kind of do the Superman leap. The wings pop out, and then you swoop down to the end of the alley.
What do I see?
There's 4 ghouls at the end of the alley. They're kind of in a semicircle around the exit where you think they're getting ready to. Whoever comes out of the alley is going to have to deal with 4 of them at once. These guys have got their claws out.
This is towards where we were following the trail.
Right. These guys have got their claws out. They are ready to rock and roll.
Exactly what it's for.
Can I do like a sweeping lightning breath to try and hit all 4?
Sure. Make your. Is it a weapons attack? Yeah, it's a weapons
Yeah, it's a
attack.
weapons
isn't it?
attack.
Okay, alright, cool.
Did we ever get eyes on Bunk as he was being drug away? to
No.
be honest
No,
with you?
no, he was just
All of a
gone.
sudden we
We just
noticed
came
him.
out-
Magic, he's gone. Yeah. Okay.
So since I can set temporary aspects on a scene,
Yes. Or you can try and tag aspects that are on the scene.
so since we're starting the combat, can I set like an aspect of like maybe a surprise or something? Like just so that they could tag into for combat.
That'll be a maneuver, so you won't be able to do any damage. It'll just
That's
be a
fine.
maneuver. Okay.
what do you want me to roll for it? Weapon still?
Are you trying to draw their attention to you?
I'm trying to kind of spook them, maybe just draw them, like shoot a line of lightning behind them, be like, what the hell was that?
Let's do
Or
an
even up to
intimidation
me.
check. Yeah.
Intimidation?
Yeah, that's good. Because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to scare them,
Okay,
surprise
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Yeah, that's absolutely cool. Yeah. And I think your might gives you a bonus anyway, so yeah.
To intimidation?
Yeah.
Nah.
No? Okay.
Unless you let me use that skill in conjunction with intimidation. I don't know how it all works.
Yeah, let's give you a +1 for it.
Okay.
I'm good with that. Because you are using your dragony lightning.
So the
That
might
takes from what he's saying. Be
with
careful.
the inhuman strength, it adds a +1 regardless, no matter the difference
Right.
in skill.
Right.
You know.
So
Which I don't really know
definitely.
how that works, but
Um,
I know I get a
feel
+1 with might regardless.
Yeah, I would say because you're a big beefy guy and you're shooting lightning,
Big
we'll give you your
dragonfly.
+1. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
You're trying to draw them off.
So it'd be a +1.
You want to use a big one?
Not all
What'd you get?
again.
Did you tag an aspect?
No, but
I
what'd
don't
you
Oh, you
want
have
to
to do
because
the
that's a
big
big
one for
point.
Yeah. What'd you get?
So I got a +1.
You blow lightning behind them. They kind of seem to have understood that this is a distraction. One of them turns around and goes, "It's the dragon again," or "It's the lightning again." and so you do notice that they kind of spread out a little more, so you can't hit them. But that's all that happens. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's plus 3. Plus
2.
2. Now they're okay. So because plus 3 is them, but they're gonna wait until you come out.
Okay. They spread out a little bit because of his.
Yes.
Do I see any
Are you
path
plus
that
2?
looks like?
No, they've got
Okay.
you guys closed in. They're waiting for the first person to pop out, and then they're gonna bum rush.
So would it be a maneuver or just my movement to try to move past and flank them?
You're not gonna be able to flank them.
Okay.
These guys are set up where, unless you can go upwards, like
All right. Well, I'm
Volt
just gonna
can, you can't.
attack whoever's in the middle and try to take out a center, create a gap.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. All right. So you move forward and immediately attack. All right. All right.
This was a bad idea, guys.
You
You
never
should have
know.
learned your lesson last night.
That's all right.
Can I re-roll that?
If you tag an aspect,
Let's see what I got. I got. Could I tag? Since Bunk is in peril and probably wants to be saved, no one is beyond saving if they want to be saved.
That's my thing.
sure. I'll let you do that. Give me that. All right. So you get a plus 2 or reroll. Okay.
Okay, yeah, because that was
Gotcha.
way better.
That's a lot better.
Okay,
Plus 3 will work.
Like,
So-
viscerate.
and then
You-
what am I? And
using your
plus
sword?
my weapon, so that's a plus 9.
Wow. All right. Your attack is, I think it's a plus. It's a weapon 3.
It's a weapon
I think.
2.
2. Okay.
But I have.
But you beat him by 6. Okay. So you move forward. Okay. So what happens is he's standing there ready. He's got his claws out, and all of a sudden you just do this brilliant, slide out of the end of the thing right into this guy's gut. Let's see. Weapon 2, beat him by 6. Wait, what'd you get? A 9?
9.
Okay, so he got a 2. We beat him by 7. So let's see, that's 9 points. Dear Lord. All right.
That's epic on the ladder.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
One step from legendary.
Okay. So all of a sudden you come flying out of this thing. The guy who's in front of you, you caught him off guard. Maybe he was kind of licking the lightning, and you just gut him, okay? And he goes, "Ah!" And then you just rip upwards, and there's this huge slash that opens from there, and he almost is split in half, and he drops to the ground, okay? Now remember, you have a holy sword, which means he can't shrug that off.
Okay.
So he drops to the ground, looks pretty dead. The other 3 ghouls look pretty impressed and begin to close in on you. So they're going to attack you now, okay?
Are y'all sure y'all want to do this?
Yeah, they are. All right, so
That's good to see.
you get to
I like
roll
it.
your weapon,
Okay.
and then to see if you defend, okay?
You got this.
Okay. It's even, so it's plus 5.
Okay, you defend against the
6,
first one.
because of
you
my
defend
Sword of the
against the
Cross.
first one. Yeah, they've only got a plus 3. Next guy gets a 4, so you get to defend against him.
I get a plus 7.
Okay, that's still good. Wow, last guy got a 6, so defend against him.
He got the flank.
6.
It's still okay, so even.
Clang.
I don't think he wants to be drawn off. I don't think he's going to take a minor inconvenience to try and get you because you're looking pretty good. Okay, so what happens is you slide out, gut this one guy. The guy's their screams claw at you. You're blocking to the side, off to the around. She looks like she's just stepped out of one of these movies where the swordsman just is blocking everybody around, and so you blocked off all 3 of these guys, and they've never touched you, which is a bit impressive.
My preferred enemy on my preferred terrain.
That's
Yeah,
correct. And
Preferred terrain is cemetery?
sword's your thing.
Preferred
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
sword is your
Oh,
thing.
okay.
That's right.
That's much better.
All right. So that was in +2s. Other +2s.
Cannibals surrounded by death.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Or a sacred, consecrated ground.
Yeah, it does help. So, Jody, what are you doing? Now, you're in the
I'm at
back.
+2.
You're kind of in the back by Darwin. There is a clear path to follow Miranda out.
Yes.
Because she slid out into the middle of these guys and, Volt went up, airborne. Yeah. So, yeah.
So for my whirlwind maneuver, I can't make it to just do a certain area.
No.
It does the whole area, right?
Okay.
Okay.
You can, but it's no longer a rote spell then. Okay. Then it
make it take a
becomes
little bit
Then it becomes a spell where you can target individual people, but what you're going to do is you decide how much power you want to put into it, see how that stacks up against your. Hang on. See how that stacks up against your.
Beep. So, too far is behind your chair.
Your conviction, and then you'll make your discipline roll to see if you can control it.
Okay.
So that's how that works.
I'm just gonna bring my sword out.
Okay. I mean, you can do it, but just yeah.
Yeah. So if she's moving forward, I'm not gonna worry about light spell because if the police couldn't see that
You don't
line
have to.
of
Okay.
lightning,
There's no such thing as concentration in this, so you just you have your light spells. They're up for a few minutes, and you don't worry about it. Yeah.
Okay.
That was nice.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna come out and whack the first.
You can hit the guy
one I see.
beside the one that she just
Yeah.
gutted. Yeah. He's down. He looks pretty out.
So her
honestly.
sword is much better than mine.
Yeah. Well, yes, in certain ways.
Huh?
Ooh,
Got +2,
wow.
so that's
+2.
a +5.
Okay.
Nice.
So yours counts as a weapon 3, unless you want
It can be a weapon 6.
to. Right.
3 times. So
So you got a +5. You said.
yeah, but it's a weapon 6. I don't know how that converts
Uh,
to. Never mind.
Okay. So I'm rolling defense against these guys. So all right. So you roll to attack, right?
So
You
that'd
got
be 6 + 3.
what was your roll total?
+3.
Okay. What's your weapons?
My weapon skill is 3, so it's +6 total, and it's a 6 weapon.
Okay. Hang on. 6. All right. He rolled a 1. So your difference is 5. Weapon 6 is 11. Yeah. Okay. So you come sliding out there behind her, and you've probably got your umbrella out like that. At which point the guy goes, "Umbrella!" as your sword just runs him through. Does 11 points of damage. This ghoul just goes. You hit him in the gut. No, this is something more exciting. You don't hit him in the gut. You come across on a strike from behind the umbrella and take his head away from his shoulders. Head comes flying off, comes spraying out everywhere. Blood goes everywhere. Blood all over you. Blood over her. Good and violent and yeah.
Great.
Yeah, Kill Bill-esque. Yeah, with blood
approves.
everywhere. Yeah.
Volt approves.
Yes. That was in 2s. Any other 2s?
I have 2, but
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Do you want to make another might check?
sure.
Okay, make another might check. See if you can break free.
Do it.
You can do it. You can do it.
No, I can't.
No. Okay. They've got you strapped in the chair now.
I can't use my magic or anything to.
Could he spend a fate point to give him more?
What do you want to try and do with your
Where's
magic?
that trombone?
I have no clue.
You can try.
I mean, I'm looking around.
You're a kinetic energy guy. You could try and destroy something around you.
Could you destroy the
Can
straps that are holding him
could
down?
I destroy the chair?
Go for it. Make me a roll.
All right.
All right. So okay. So all right. Are you doing your rote kinetic blast, which is I think weapon with strength 5 or something like that?
Yeah, it was, strength 5, but since I don't have my focus with me, it's...
No, your focus is still with you.
It's still
It's your
with me, so
pocket.
it's still-
Yeah. As long as it's with you, you're good. Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually strength...
It's still 5.
5.
Yeah.
Imagine it being in your pocket, just like kinetic hip check.
Yeah, 5.
All right. So so you don't have to roll.
Okay.
Destroys the chair.
All right. So you kind of he starts strapping into the chair, and you go like that, right? And the chair goes, and the chair, one of the arms falls off, and he goes, "Ah, this is so annoying." He kind of you can tell he gets a little irritated. And he looks at the other person who's there and says, should we just kill him to fuel the spell?
Is my mouth still covered?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, 'cause I'm still go.
And so, at which point, the same voice you heard over the phone last night says, well, since he destroyed the chair, I'll use the ring, you kill him so we can get the power to start the spell. That sounds bad.
Oh crap!
Yeah. Well, you know. Yeah.
I've been inconvenienced then.
Oops.
And the other person on the other side of the area, she has this ring, and she takes it and she turns it upside down, and you notice that out of the ground begins to rise this wispy green shape, carrying a pair of those big, tall drums. They're not the bongos, but they're the ones that look like, I don't know, about this tall. Anyway. Yeah. And so he you notice this wispy shape appears, and she says, play. And all of you at that point hear, do-do, do-do,
No.
do-do.
At this point, not knowing if my phone's working and whether or not the police know that we're in peril, I'm gonna let out this like immigrant song, like yell to just try to let them know something's going down. Because my text messages are
I'm
not
sure they
gonna
know.
go.
I mean, they saw the lightning.
All right, so that brings us to we were in +2s, right?
That's hysterical.
+1s.
Me.
Wait, hang on.
I've never heard
I was in the choir.
The very large shadow at the end of the alley towards you goes, little pig, let me come in.
Oh God!
And reaches over.
This is getting.
Yeah, reaches over to one of the tombs and literally
Deliverance?
grabs a piece of the cement and concrete and marble and goes and smashes it out of the way. Looks like he's going to come towards you through the marble and stone. Which you're going,
Okay.
he's slashing through marble and stone? What?
We've talked about this before. I want to know what I'm supposed to roll to figure out what aspects this scene has.
Oh, that would be an assessment. So you can use investigation.
I'll use that.
Okay. Ooh,
That's fine. It's a 2.
That's not bad. Okay. So, what are you trying to assess? What aspects? You know that this scene has shadowed,
Right.
dark. It also has the aspect of holy ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And cluttered. Dear Lord.
I imagine so.
Yeah. Cluttered.
All right. I'm trying to think here. So, vault up. The other two
Yeah, went forward.
forward.
You want to shoot this guy?
I'm at the back,
Yes.
and this guy's breaking stuff to get to
Yeah,
me.
he's trying to get to you. Yeah, you're pretty sure this is the large black guy with the dreadlocks that you saw last night, who called retreat thing. Yeah.
Don't you let him get away.
Shooting Alakablam.
Said, no.
No, because I was trying to think of something witty, but the only thing I could think of was not by the muscle flare of my big bang.
Yeah. Now
No.
a bad comeback.
But yeah, I'm gonna shoot him.
All right. Roll your attack. You're using guns, right?
Yes.
He's using athletics. Okay. Ooh. I got you. Roll again.
Not the best roll.
Oh! Ouch. That's all right. I didn't roll real well either, so.
I don't really have a good aspect. I could try to reroll this. All aspects are weird.
Well, now you can tag one of the aspects in the area of shadowed or holy ground
Holy ground,
or
holy bullets.
cluttered or whatever. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Actually, speaking of that,
You can blast, I mean.
yeah, how does the what effect does having my bullets blessed give it? Is that like extra damage? Is that what that is? In Or
terms
does
of,
he just give the holy tag?
well, what it gives the holy thing, which means that they can't just shrug that damage off. That's
Okay.
what it is.
All
Yeah.
right,
Very much
that's
so.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Can I? Oh, can I use the tag holy ground and
Yeah,
reroll?
sure. Yeah.
All right.
If you want to reroll, or if you want to +2, either one.
Just saying.
Might reroll with the
Yeah.
3 minuses. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's much better. Wow, +3. Good grief.
So that's +6.
Okay.
Nice.
He only got a +2. So
I was at a
what's your
+1 with that last roll.
yeah? So what's your weapon rating on your gun?
It is a weapon 4.
Okay, weapon 4. You beat him by 5. That's a weapon 10. Okay. So you shoot him. Okay.
Don't you have holy bullets?
I do.
Okay, there we go. You shoot him. He lets out a roar as you do that, and there's a huge hole opens in his chest. At which point, simultaneously, you hear crack. Okay, and his head goes.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
The top of his head kind of comes off, rolls, and your phone goes. Zzz.
Oh.
And it
I think I
says,
know where we're going with this. But I'm still...
it says, Eagle has landed 5 by 5.
Nice.
Yeah. And so, at which point, this
Thanks,
guy's
Larry.
this head, just kind of comes loose, and his chest kind of opens up, and he just drops. You're thinking this guy's done, pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was in +1s?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't tell your allies.
Zeros
Probably more.
+3s. I believe we have 2 guys up by y'all.
I'm +3.
Okay, you're +3. So, yes, go ahead.
I'm gonna drop and smash some heads, I think.
All right, go for it.
I'm just gonna use my claws though, not the holy. Nah, I'm gonna use the holy brass
Holy,
knuckles
holy.
with my.
Holy diver.
Sorry.
diver. Yeah.
This ain't terrible.
That's only a
Negative
-1.
1.
You got pretty good, you got pretty good fists, don't you?
Yeah, it's alright. It's only a 3 though total.
Yeah, I got a -1. So, okay, you beat him by 1. So
Okay.
you're weapon 4, right?
No weapon 1 because the holy brass knuckles.
Oh, okay.
But I get a +2 to stress damage because of inhuman strength.
Right, so it's 3 damage, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Third ghoul who takes 3 stress damage. Okay. All right. He is not down, but you definitely fetch him a good punch across the chin. He goes, ah! You do. Yeah. Okay. So that was +3. In +3, he is going to attack you.
Come on.
Are we in a new round or?
This is the new
Okay.
turn. Yeah, a new exchange is what we call it. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I understand.
Wow. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
-2.
What do I defend with? Fists?
Either fist or athletics, whichever you prefer.
Oh, they're the same.
Okay.
Ooh.
Bro.
So that's a 8 fists.
Yeah. Okay. You beat him. He got a +1. He rolled really badly. You go. He goes. Run. You go. Really? What?
Not my friend.
No, not in my. Not in my house.
This town ain't big enough for the two.
Is that a
All right, so that was in +3. The other one is going to attack either Miranda or Della. Let's have her attack Miranda because she
Bring
came out
it on.
second. Wow. Roll for your weapon skill to defend.
That's Miranda.
I'm sorry. Okay, the attacking
Still
Miranda, that
6.
works. What'd you get?
6.
Oh, yeah, he missed so
Well, you said
badly.
Miranda, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
He missed so badly. I got like a +2. My rolls have been terrible tonight, which is good for you.
It doesn't have an option.
So yeah, he comes across with the claws. You block him to the side. He lets a howl as the holy sword impacts on his claws, and he pulls back like this. Let's see. That brings us to +2s.
+2.
We're both +2.
Yes.
+2 also. Yeah.
Let me see real quick. Okay, they're at 0 and 0. Okay, fine. All right, so you're at +2. All right, let's handle Bunk here. All right, you've broken the chair. It does not seem to be really in very good shape. So the guy says, "Let's just kill him," and he pulls out an obsidian dagger.
Okay.
Looks very Aztec. And looks like he's going to try and stab you with it. I'm going to let you make a might check.
Great.
Yeah, wait a minute. Well, hang on. Okay. If not a might check, you do a counter spell.
Okay.
Okay. So that would just be a normal spell. Let's see. You would do...
Under evocation?
Yeah, evocation, right. Decide how many shifts of power you want to put into it. How much do you want to put into it to try and block his
I'll
spell?
go up to whatever you're...
Well, I had the rope kinetic shield.
Yeah, but this is not that. This is a counter spell. So you would need to decide how many points you want to put into it.
So how many shifts can I put into?
Oh, you can put in a... Well, okay. If you go over your conviction, you're going to start taking lots of mental stress.
So since we have the +1 to conviction now, I have conviction 5.
Okay, so you could put 5 points into it and not worry about it.
Okay, 5
Okay, so 5 points. Roll your discipline. You need to match that 5.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, so discipline plus whatever you roll there.
Discipline's 4.
Okay, and what'd you get total?
I mean 4 total. 'Cause
Do you have any aspects you can tag?
I mean, I got accidentally on purpose, pitch imperfect.
I kind of like accidentally on purpose. That's a
Yeah.
good one. Kind of like that. All right, give me that.
One.
All right,
I guess add
that gives you a +2.
+2. So
All right. So you go no, and there. Well, you probably don't say no, but just there's this wave of force that kind of starts jittering off of you, and all those things come off, and you drop to the ground, and the guy goes, "Oh, mages, so hard to work with."
I think you're a mage.
Yeah.
You're pretty strong.
Yeah. And that's what you do for +2 is counterspell. So he has the obsidian dagger. He has an alertness of 0, so he'll go in 0. So it'll be a little while before he gets to try and stab you with it.
Nice.
+2s, the rest of the +2s.
I have 2.
Okay, go
You
ahead. Yeah.
2 also.
Because you went first the last time, so...
Okay, the one that was attacking me, I'll just attack him right back.
Well, you killed one of them. Oh, yeah, right. There's one that was attacking you. Yes, go for it.
Did I not kill the one that was attacking her?
No, you killed the one that was a...
Beside the one she killed?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the only one in this area, right?
Well,
Or
there's 2 left.
more?
There's one attacking you, and there's one that I think attacked you. I'm not sure. Maybe
One of
he's
them
just...
attacked me.
Oh.
Oh, that was the one that you're attacking. That's
And
right.
quick
That's right.
question, sorry to ask this right
No,
in the
it's
middle
fine,
of
it's fine.
combat, but how does the armor +2 badge work?
If they attack you, then their damage is 2 less than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if it actually hits me.
Right. Right now, you've been doing the sword thing, and they haven't even hit you. So
Okay.
yeah, you haven't needed the armor.
Okay, 6.
Okay. He's going to defend with his athletics. Oh, okay. So that's a +2. So you being by 4. Your sword ability is
+2.
So you do 6 points of damage. I don't. Well, okay. That's a mild consequence. He's moderate one. Okay. Take 2. Okay. He's still up. All right, but he looks pretty bad. Okay. Other +2s.
I'm +2.
Okay, go ahead. There's the one that Volt is fighting and the one she's fighting. So pick your poison.
I'm honestly, well, I can't really say this
Yeah.
now, so.
I was.
Can we yell out exchanges in combat?
Of course, yeah. Yeah.
I'll just be like, if y'all get to Bunk, I can take these guys.
Can I don't know if I can do 2 things. I want to cast light on my umbrella and look.
You
for
have
the
light.
Drums.
You have light already. Yeah.
I'm going for the drums. Can I tell which direction the drums are coming from?
Drums are coming from the northwest. Yes, you
Okay.
can definitely tell.
All
You're
right.
just gonna sprint north. Make me an athletics check.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's not bad.
So that gives me a 3.
All right, good deal. All right, so you take off at a run. She goes, "I got this. Go find Bunk," and you take off at a run to the northwest. You're
And
round.
my umbrella's lit up.
Right. Well, right. You got your umbrella out to defend yourself. Your sword out. You're going in. Loaded for bear.
Well, I'm hoping that the
Right.
police will see the light too.
Right. So you're heading towards the northwest. You round the corner and there's this kind of grassy area. You see that there's 2 people there. Both of them wearing these kind of black cloaks. One of them has just drawn this obsidian dagger and is walking towards Bunk.
Oh.
Bunk was, wrapped up in these kind of black, smoky wraps, and he's just kind of started vibrating real fast, and all of a sudden these wraps have flown off of him, and he's dropped to the ground. And the guy is striding forward with this dagger very arrogantly, like he thinks he's just going to be able to kind of stab Bunk or something like that. You also notice the other person is on the other side, is standing there, and there's a ghostly presence that seems to be beating on these drums behind them.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just thinking about those ironic last words. What are you gonna do? Stab me?
Yes.
So is this running counting as an action?
Well, it's a supplemental action, so you can still attack.
Okay.
You can still cast a spell or something like
I'm
that.
running to guy with ghostly drums by him, and I'm gonna attack him.
You're going to need to counterspell him. What's happened
Oh,
is
I
there's a
gotta
spell there,
counterspell
okay?
him.
Counterspell is fine. How many points, how much power do you want to put into it?
Is that discipline or conviction?
That is your conviction.
Okay.
What's your conviction at?
A +1
A
right
plus
now.
4.
Okay, so you can do 4 convictions. Okay.
Yeah.
Now remember, because you are blessed by the church, your conviction is +1.
Plus 5. Okay. Well, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Okay,
do
so 5
conviction.
strength. Okay, so roll your discipline. You need to at least get a 5.
Can I tag an aspect after I've rolled, or do I have to before I roll?
absolutely.
Okay.
That's the nice thing about tagging aspect. You roll and then go, ooh, shit, I need to tag an aspect.
Like that.
Wow!
Oh
Wait,
shit.
what aspect are you going to do? You got to give me an aspect.
Icy rage, because I'm really
I
pissed
like
off
it.
that they're
Of course, your
taking
rage will always get you. All right, so re-roll.
This real better.
Oh,
This better.
much better. Much better. So you got a +1 from your
that
roll.
gives me back to a 5.
Okay, so you
Wait.
6.
no, that's
Yeah, I've lied. So a 5, 6.
okay.
Yeah.
So you run across and you can feel the tendrils of power that have created this spirit that's supposed to play the drums, and you begin severing in your mind. You begin severing those tendrils that are summoning this spirit, and the spirit looks at you, and you can see he looks straight at you and says, "At last," and he dissipates into smoke.
He was being
And
forced.
yeah, and the person beside him lets out this scream and goes, "Ah, meddling bastards!" It's obviously a woman's voice. Okay,
So
That's her new name.
Be Matricia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Her new name, Billy Beth.
I'm pointing my umbrella light at her. The most if we see it, we'll
All right.
take her
Those
out.
plus twos, plus ones, plus ones. Yes.
The giant ghoul is dead.
Yes. Head came
Or at
away
least
from
I'm
his
going to
neck.
assume.
Yeah. Head came from his neck. Oh, you open a hole in his chest. He looks pretty darn
The
dead.
shotgun.
Yeah. He's got a
I
big
mean-
hole. Yeah. Yeah. Two high caliber rounds. Yes.
Sheesh.
Let's see here.
I'll even let you double tap for free.
So slow.
Tow! Tow! Blood everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah, better than
I'm trying to think here.
That just sounds better.
Between the loud gunshots, did I hear what Miranda said about going to go to the drum thing?
Not. You're kind of
Yeah, I
opposite
didn't think
ends of
so.
the hall.
I
into this.
shouted that.
No, she shouted, "I got this. Go get Bunk."
Yeah, she did.
At which point you took off at a sprint. Yeah.
You might have seen my umbrella.
Still fighting stuff. I mean, I imagine I turn
Yes,
around.
there are
there's
two
still those
ghouls,
things.
yes. there's two
and then
ghouls there,
there's
yeah.
one on the ground that's mostly handled.
It's pretty hard. Yeah, but there's one that's looking. He's pretty feisty and saucy, and wearing a red dress and high heels. So yeah.
Ooh.
Wow, he's doing this good?
Yeah, he's that saucy. Yeah, he is.
Recruit him?
Yes.
I need a dog.
Not sure he's gonna go for that. So yeah.
Oh, he will.
Let's see here. So they're both fighting
Yes.
people.
Yes.
I can see them.
Yes.
She gave out a yell earlier. I'm going to count that as a scream. She needs help. I'm going to shoot that one.
Okay. All right. Cool. So you move to the end of the hallway. You're going to shoot the one she's on.
Yeah.
Now that's a supplemental action, so you have a -1 to your attack. So that's fine.
That's fine.
Weapons, right? Yes.
Guns.
Guns. That one too. Okay, so -1 total.
All right, so that'll be a +1 total. But I have tons of stuff. So
Tons of things and stuff. Well, I need to roll to defend. I don't think he's going to defend against you because he doesn't even know you're coming there.
good, because I was going to tag the cluttered aspect.
Yeah. No.
Because I assumed that he wouldn't be able to move around too much.
No. Well, and he doesn't even know you're coming out of the end of that. He's kind of focused on her,
Engaged right now.
just like the other one's focused on you. So yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
tag it. Yep. Give me. All right. So you want to re-roll?
I'll just add 2 to it then.
Okay. Oh, just that. Okay. So that'll play +3. That's even.
Yeah.
What's your weapons rating?
+4.
Okay. So you do
Nice.
a 4-strike hit on him. Okay, he goes down. Very good. You basically Darwin steps out of the end of the alleyway. You're fighting with this guy. Shing, shing, shing. He's kind of striking at you. You're blocking, and then he goes.
Mercy Percy style. Right?
Did you have any kind of tagline you want to use here?
Sure. I'm an opportunist.
And the guy goes, "What?" And then, at which point, the bullet, impacts on his chest, leaves this huge hole, and he falls to the ground. Looks pretty dead. So there's one left. Okay.
That'd be a good aspect if you ever try.
Yeah, we may have to change that
That's
aspect
hilarious.
when we get to this major. Okay. All right. So +0. All right. So that brings us to the cultists. The first cultist who is attacking you is going to use his dagger. He's using. Oh my gosh, what a stupid guy! He has no weapons. Okay, so you have athletics defense, or athletics defense.
Athletics.
Okay. All right, so
Fists?
-1. Yeah.
Magic.
Athletics. You have to use athletics. Yeah.
Plus
Well, I
one.
got a +1.
Okay. He stabs at you with the dagger. You kind of nimbly roll out of the way, and he goes, "Oh!" You get this guy the feeling this guy's getting really frustrated.
Can't get good help these days.
Now you just counterspelled things, right, Jody? Oh, good.
What?
Okay. She sees you, whips out this little wand.
Who's she?
The cultist, the other cultist.
Oh.
Okay. Whips out this little crystal wand, twirls it around her fingers, and points it at you. Let's see. Wow. So you need to, let's see, I don't know that you can defend against magic, really.
Well, I have my umbrella is a
Alright.
plus
It's a 2
plus 3 armor.
Yeah, plus 3 armor. You take a 5 strength strike from these.
I don't get to
No.
defend.
There's no defense against magic. You just kind of.
That was the contrast between a lightning breath attack and a
Yeah.
lightning spell. Is I
Right.
always have to make a weapons attack.
Right.
And lightning spells, you just channel and they take damage.
Yeah, they just take. They hit them. Yeah, there's no defense against it.
Yeah, you just.
Yeah.
Well, what does a block do?
You don't get to do a block. You've always done
Alright.
already done your action. So
Fine,
it's a
fine.
strength
So I
6 attack
-3 because of this
armor.
umbrella
Right.
armor.
So you
Okay.
take a 3 stress attack, right?
Okay.
Okay. So what you see is
And this is physical.
physical, yes. She swirls this little crystal rod around her fingers, points it at you. This very pale beam lances out at you, kind of lances through your umbrella and hits you. You can feel the life, the strength, the vitality leave your body.
Oof.
I mean, this literally leeches your energy. You're like,
Sounds like
wow, this is terrible. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like.
Give
me.
Yeah.
textbook D&D necrotic damage.
That's very necrotic. Okay. That brings us to +3s. Okay, go ahead. You're still fighting the guy.
She yelled out, "Bunk, go after Bunk."
Yeah.
Yeah. Got this.
Can I discern where he went to try and track him down or anything?
Yeah, probably northwest. I mean, you see her
Well, you
take
see
off to
my
the
umbrella.
northwest.
You
And
were
I was
originally
air at
sniffing
some
out
point.
Well, you were fighting a guy on the ground, though.
Yeah, but
And you were sniffing out the trail originally anyway.
Do you want to finish the guy you're attacking, or what?
I gotta go say Bunk. She's got this.
Okay. Well, she just killed the guy that was on her. You're kind of tangled up with the guy that it's in front of you. Is what I'm
I ain't
saying.
worried about him. I gotta save my friends.
You put your feet in his chest.
Yeah,
Take 'em off.
plummet off. Yeah.
All right. Maybe an athletics check. I like it.
Can I use might with this to modify it? It's a skill check,
+1,
right?
+1, yeah,
Yeah.
sure, +1, sure.
All right. So +6.
Okay. The guy in front of you begins to swing at you. You kind of lift your leg, kick off of him, throw your wings out, and kind of swoop around and stuff like that.
I
He
just
goes.
want to scan the area
Yeah.
for.
There seems to be something
Bunk.
going off to the northwest. You fly towards that direction, kind of tucking your wings in, coming in at a swooping attack. You see Bunk. He has just broken this weird wooden chair. There's a guy approaching him with a dagger. You also see that Della is there, and that she is. She has pulled her umbrella out, put it in front of her as this cloaked person has just pointed this wand at her. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go try and grapple the guy trying to stab Bunk.
Okay. You're gonna need to do that. You have to do a maneuver so you can do it, which means you'll need to,
So it's not just like a move and then attack.
And no, you'll have to spend this round like maneuvering to get into position. Is what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Sure.
you're gonna sneak up on him.
No, I'm just barreling towards him to grab him.
Okay, so you're gonna try and knock it. Make a might check. Okay. No problem.
Can I compliment might with might? No.
No.
Not so much. A +7 might.
Okay. He's going to make an athletics check. He's not going to make it. So what you do is you come swooping towards him. You kind of wrap an arm around him and throw him off balance. And so what you just tagged him with is the off balance aspect. Okay.
Okay.
And you can tag it next round to grapple him. Okay.
All right, cool.
Right.
Sounds
You can also pass that unbalanced thing off to anybody else who's in the area so they can tag it if you want.
I'll pass it off to Bunk.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And then you can also still spend a fate point to tag it to grapple him next round if you want. Okay. All right. So those +3s. We got one more ghoul who is there.
2 of us.
Yeah. The ghoul, he's kicked him in the chest and launched away. He's going to swing at you. Make a weapons check. I'm rolling terrible tonight.
6.
And you're gone.
What'd you get? Oh, yeah, you beat him. All right, so that brings us to +2s.
Me.
That's you. Go ahead.
Alright.
The ghoul has taken a swing at you. You blocked him to the side. He's let a shriek as his claws have impacted on your sword. And then what are you doing?
I'm like,
Cemetery
told you this
ninja.
was a bad idea.
Wham! Okay, roll.
This was also your favorite thing.
That's 8.
Okay.
No, 7.
Okay. 7. Okay, so he got a +2, so you beat him by 5. 7.
my weapons, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. He's still up, but he's hurt.
Wait,
You.
Is that
What?
including the +1 for holy?
Now-
Yes.
Sorry, I get confused.
That's all right.
I was going 7 based off my weapon skill, but I'm
Right.
not using my weapons rating for this.
Right. So what happened is you got a 7. He got a +2.
Okay.
So the difference is +5.
Plus
Plus your
my
weapons rating
weapons
is
rating,
7.
okay.
So he took a moderate wound and then had to soak a stress 1. So he's hurt, but he's not out yet. But
Gotcha.
he's hurt pretty bad. He's taken a moderate wound. He's been, gut struck or, shoulder punched or whatever you want. So he's hurt, but he can take a moderate wound and continue fighting. Anything more than about a moderate wound and he's going to bow out or, concede and fall out like these other guys have. Okay. That's +2. Della, +2.
So is it a continuous beam at me,
No.
or just a one-shot?
There's an
beam at
attack,
me?
yeah. You want to do a flying riposte and
I don't think I can do that.
no, well, you
Like
just
from Big
fly.
Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, you just slide across with your sword at her.
No, yeah, but no, I'm gonna run towards her with my sword and whack
Okay,
her.
make an attack. She's in the same zone as you. Okay.
Got a
She's using
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah. Like flying in wires.
Jeez Louise. Okay, I'm gonna tag a just so she can re-roll because that's just sad. Okay, that's much better. She got a -3. Okay, so okay, what'd you get, Jody, for your
Well,
weapons attack?
I think I'm going to tag an aspect and roll again because I got -2.
Okay. Wait, -2 to your weapon skill, right? Okay. What aspect are you tagging? No.
I'm gonna say love conquers all because Bunk is my buddy.
Okay, I'll go with that. Give me a fate point. You don't get to tag things for free.
Wait.
I mean,
You sure?
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
even.
So there you go.
Uh huh.
All right, so this is my sword.
Mhm.
So that is my sword is a 6, right?
No. What's your weapon skill?
Oh, weapon.
is a
Sorry.
+3.
So 3. So it's a +3 plus the 1 blessing is 4.
No. Why do you have the +1 blessing? That's for conviction.
Holy.
Holy. Oh, right. Wait, what?
Is her weapon blessed for holy?
Okay, but
Right.
okay. Remember, you may get a +1 to a roll that supports the mission one time.
Oh, that was a one-time thing?
Right. You gonna do that?
Okay.
You can. It's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
So you tied her. Okay.
Okay.
Which means, what is your weapon rating on your sword?
6.
6. You're tagging that +6 aspect. You can do that only 3 times per session.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So you do a weapon 6 strike. Okay. Now you're gonna take a minor inconvenience, like you're off balance or something like that, out
Okay.
from behind your umbrella or whatever. Okay. So you hit her for 6. Okay.
How do I mark
Um,
minor inconvenience on
No,
her?
you don't. You don't. All right. So. Okay. All right. So you
remembering it is the minor inconvenience.
yeah, you lunge forward. You lunge
Yes.
forward and stab her. You. Oh wait. Oh, she has a. Okay. You stab her. The cloak that she's wearing seems to absorb some of the damage, and then you stab her. Fetch her kind of a flesh wound into her side, and she kind of rolls away from it. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. That was in +2. Any other +2s? Yes, Bunk.
I'm gonna hit the guy with the dagger.
Yeah. Of course you would.
With my
And
rogue
you
spell,
have the-
it's a
Kinetic blast.
connect blast.
Got it.
You have the aspect tag.
So that's. Do I have to roll anything? How does this
Oh,
work?
yeah.
Roll a discipline check just to make sure you hit him. He's going to defend with.
Ugh.
You can tag that aspect too, the unbalanced.
I'm gonna
Yeah, depends on anything. What'd you get?
it'll be +4.
Okay. What aspect are you
He's
tagging?
off balance,
Oh, yeah, that's good. That'll work.
and then bump it up to +6.
Isn't the first one for free?
Hmm?
Is that what you said?
Is that one for free? Because I'm
Oh, that's right. Because wait, what?
Because I maneuvered to make it for.
Yeah, the first one is free. That's right. So you get that back. So +2.
Hey.
So
Just
what
like
was it?
drugs.
+6. Wow.
That's crazy.
And you're hitting him with your rote spell. What is the damage on your rote spell?
It's +5.
Okay, yeah. So you 5 points of damage.
Yeah. Yes. Still not a good look. I agree.
Okay. You're doing a kinetic blast. He comes
Been a
towards you
journey.
with this dagger, and you go no. Okay.
Gumbo!
Yeah, gumbo. All right.
Where's the police?
And so he goes, oh, and staggers back. You can notice that the mask that he's wearing gets kind of a crack in it or something like that, and he blows his hood back. Make me an alertness check.
Alertness is a +2.
Maybe not.
No,
Can I tag an aspect of
do you have an aspect that'll help you?
Alertness for.
God,
See who it is.
pitch imperfect?
This is to find out who it is.
And no. Moral flexibility.
No.
Vampire sex. Yep.
I got nothing. I don't think so. This guy looks vaguely familiar to you. You think you may have met him before, but that's all you can get.
You play
Yeah, trombone playing Canetamancer.
Yeah,
but maybe you saw him at a session.
Nah, probably not. Yeah. This guy looks vaguely familiar to you, but he's still got his mask on, so you're not sure.
Before.
Yeah. You blow his hair back. I like it. All right, so that was in 2. Yeah, this guy looks vaguely familiar. You've met him before, but that's all you got. What?
I think it's the people from the death thing. Wouldn't a guy and a man and a woman?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right, so that was in +2s, +1s.
Me.
Yes.
Hey!
Another ghoul there. You want to shoot him again?
Yeah, I'll shoot him.
All right, roll your weapons thing. He's going to roll.
You know how many free shirts we're gonna get?
Bro. We're gonna own that museum.
I'm gonna raid that museum.
Larissa knew.
I
Miranda
currently
did not.
have
Yeah.
a +4.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just took me that long to figure it out.
I didn't figure it out.
You got a
till
+4 as well. You can take a minor inconvenience.
I want
We figured it out with the
to add 2,
Okay.
and I'm going to use questionable acquaintances, and the line is, "Let go of my friend."
My sort of friend. There you go.
Miranda's like,
All right.
you
So that gives you a 6. What's your weapon rating on your gun?
Oh, y'all are
Still 4.
Obviously needs more
What?
sandwiches.
It's not-
4. So you okay? So it's 6.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. -2.
well, me and him are in a separate part
okay.
of the cemetery. We're fighting the ghouls still. He was talking about me.
Still up.
Still up.
Okay. You shoot him. Bam! Bam! Okay, he takes a winging shot to the shoulder, spins around to see you, and says, "You're next!"
Oh crap!
Oh crap!
You're not real scared. he's taking he's kind of going, yeah, but she's got her sword at your neck, so I don't think so.
He's like missing an eye and all
Yeah,
over his jaw.
right. Let's see if you surprise this, buddy.
I don't know. The other guy was tearing down some marble stuff.
He was tough. He was tough. All right, so Scorpio. Yeah, right. All right, so that brings us to +0. All right. In +0, Aztec dagger wielding boy is going to. I think discretion might be the better part of valor for him. He goes, "Fine!" And the entire area fills with black smoke.
Oh no.
Okay? And so if you want to track anyone in the area, you're going to have to make a alertness check. Okay, so Jody making alertness check. Bunk making Bunk making alertness check. Volt
I
making
also
alertness
will.
check. Yeah.
That's good. Okay, tree.
Kylan, you over there drinking Sunset Sarsaparillas?
Right? The bottle caps look a lot like
Right.
it. I thought that as soon as I popped one.
It's a good Newcastle.
Newcastle is really good.
That's some fine beer.
Is this the new stuff that just came out recently?
No, it's
No,
not.
it's just for
Where was it? I had a Smithwick's. Oh, there's a little Irish pub in Louisville. Okay, pretend Irish pub in Louisville, but they had good food, good beer, and they were very nice. It was not an Irish.
Really
forgot
good
y'all went to
service.
Kentucky.
Really good service.
Yeah, it was not an Irish pub. It was very meh. But food was
pretty
good.
good. It was
Food
pretty
was good. Beer was good. They were very attentive. They were very nice. Yeah. Okay, so what you got?
So I've got a
Big fairy.
+2 right now, but I think I'm going to
Kentucky.
cash in my +1 to roll supporting mission
Okay. To get a +3.
to get a +3 to track this guy.
The area, the grassy area, fills
You
with
got 'em.
black smoke. You start going, oh, where are they? And then you start looking around. Bunk, you're looking around. Della, you're looking around. I'm going to go ahead and say you guys finish off this last ghoul pretty quickly.
Okay, the standing
he-
one.
Yeah. And when the black smoke clears, there's no one there.
I don't see him.
No.
He went to +3.
Her
Could I
two?
tag an
Is
aspect?
the
You already did.
Did she leave too?
No,
Huh?
no.
Yeah,
I
they're
just
all. No.
I just did +1 to the mission.
What
thing.
aspect would you tag?
I don't know. I was trying to figure that out. I'm kind of thinking. I guess this district isn't big enough for the two of us.
Let's
No.
push pause. Oh, no, hold on. I'm not going to say no. Let's push pause right here because it is currently 9:30. So the smoke dissipates, and you're going to try and track them down, and we'll pick up their.
Can I tap one little thing right here? At the
Yes,
end?
go ahead.
There was still a ghoul that was like half dead, bisected on the ground, but wasn't quite dead yet. You
Nah,
kept
he's
saying
dead.
was her. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's
okay,
dead. He's
okay.
dead. Yeah, yeah. He's there completely. You can coup de grace him if you want to. So
Well,
yeah.
I was gonna question him if he was still alive.
Okay, the guy you guys fought, you could maybe get him with enough. Yeah. Okay.
I was just
so,
gonna
Let's go with that. You got
establish whether he was
yeah, you
alive
gotta-
for next time.
Yeah, you got a ghoul prisoner. You're looking into trying to track them back to their lair, and that's probably a good place to stop right there. Cool. Today on the Dresden Download, we're going to be talking about the St. Louis Cathedral and the St. Louis Number 1 Cemetery. Now, a lot of the characters in our Dresden Files game are fictional. You won't find a Deacon Fontainebleau or a Carla working in Muriel's restaurant. But a lot of the locations are actual locations in the city of New Orleans. The St. Louis Cathedral is an actual cathedral on Jackson Square. It's a beautiful old cathedral. If you ever get down to New Orleans, check it out. It's really pretty. However, remember it is an active cathedral and they do celebrate Mass there, so please be respectful. If you want to see the other corner of Jackson Square, you will find Muriel's, which of course is a restaurant that we talk about several times in the Dresden Files. It's a really good restaurant, and it's actually supposed to be haunted, so check it out. Now, the St. Louis Number 1 Cemetery is somewhere you can't go unless you're on an official tour sanctioned by the Catholic Church. Now, you're probably wondering, why is the Catholic Church limiting access to this cemetery? Well, the answer is about 7 years ago, they started having a lot of problems with vandalism and graffiti in this beautiful old cemetery. So they closed it to the public unless you're on an official tour. If you get a chance, take an official tour. They're not very expensive. And see some of the old statuary and gravestones and hear a lot about the history of New Orleans, and especially the cemetery. You can see Nicolas Cage's tomb. He actually has a tomb there, though, of course, he is not in it. He bought that grave plot after he bought the LaLaurie mansion because he was afraid the house had cursed him. You can also find lots of other beautiful old places there too, but interestingly enough, the movie Easy Rider was filmed there. After seeing what had been produced by the director of Easy Rider, the Catholic Church closed all further filming for the St. Louis No. 1 cemetery. But it's really interesting. Check it out. Now, if you're wondering, I've never heard of the New Orleans Special Task Force. That's because they don't really exist. They're a counterpart to the Special Investigations Division in the Chicago Police Force. And if you're going, who? Well, that's because the Special Investigations Unit doesn't really exist either. If you remember from the Dresden Files, the Special Investigations Unit was headed by Karen Murphy in several of the Dresden Files books. And they were basically the division of the Chicago PD that was supposed to investigate the paranormal. And then Karen Murphy's job was to make the paranormal seem normal. Vampires became people who were hallucinating because they were taking drugs. And trolls became really ugly, drunk men or something like that. Well, in our game, the New Orleans Special Task Force is actually a group of policemen who are in the know. They know that the paranormal exists, and they work extensively with the Catholic Church to handle these kinds of problems. They've dealt with white court vampires in one of our episodes. They've dealt with ghouls and things like that, and so they kind of know what they're up against. They're going into this wide-eyed open. But if you continue with our episodes, you'll see what happens to them. So, the New Orleans Special Task Force is a special division of policemen who are equipped to deal with the paranormal. Or so they think.